Right. Hello, hello, greetings, salutations, everybody. It is another wonderful Tuesday. Uh, wonderful, wonderful. Hope you all's having a good day. So, more D&D. You ready? 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 Yeah, you're ready. All right, I'm gonna do a roll call. We're gonna get started. All right? All right. So, who can recall what happened last time? Because there was a lot. Let's see how much you remember.
Hmm.
See, we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about, I mean, I kind of took some pretty good notes, at least for a while, but we talked about illithids and what they had to do with things, what they are. And I think it was something about how, they consume brains and make slaves of those they do not consume. So that was good to have at least that defined. And yeah, stuff about traveling between the plane. Let's see. I thought my notes were a little more organized. Let's see what I'm trying to say. We talked about was it Uthugaroth and Marn? And the wizard said that he was deeply concerned about Ugutheroth, but he didn't really know about Marn that much. And then but yeah, we learned that Marn was an acronym for Maro Adrius, the Reaper of Nothingness. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um let's see. Anybody else want to throw something out?
He was kind of a wiener.
Um, we learned that Zed is like a fabled warrior.
Right.
The child of the stars, the heroes of the ages. Yeah.
That's right. And then I guess that's why Marn is kind of trying to destroy him. Is still the idea that he may contain something important.
That he stole from Marn.
Mhm.
Oh yes. Crystal.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps even one that's black, diamond shaped. We'll never know.
Huh.
Hmm.
We learned about the concept of and people can fill in the blanks here if I just have kind of a skeleton. So we learned that the weave, right, like reality itself, is becoming unstable, and then that the what is it called, the one with many mouths, or the hunger, is trying to consume shit. And that was the instability of the weave was what contributed to the destruction of the wizard's castle. And that to leave here, unfortunately, is going to take a lot of power and maybe a proper laboratory. So it's going to take some effort to leave this. We're in kind of a pocket dimension or something. The reality that we know is but a copy of some other reality, but to me that doesn't really matter because I mean it's our world, so the other one can suck it. I don't know, but
Single time that little one has been sneezing, though, if you recall, we've been transporting slightly into parallel realities.
yes.
That's bad.
Eh. Maybe so. Yeah, I guess so. We also the wizard calls himself a chronomancer, and
Oh, right.
I don't know. I have Niavara, Sari, and others have a philosophical discussion about the nature of what comes from outside, the nature of reality. I don't know what that means, but that's something that apparently happened.
He was having a whole moment like, how do we kill something that's like functionally unkillable? And it's like
Yeah.
easy. You make him smaller, duh, and you try again. That's
I really
like,
enjoyed that conversation.
really badly summarizing it, but oh well.
Something about the little one, maybe a suitable power source, or somehow being an aid in getting us out of this plane along with the wizard.
Because little one has been unconsciously been teleporting us out of planes, so like obviously he would be able to do the same thing if like directed meaningfully.
Yeah. That's kind of mostly what I have.
He was a big wiener. He doesn't like religion. Religion doesn't exist in his thing.
But he's a good guy, like, he wants to protect reality, that's the impression that we got. He was willing to,
yeah.
like, destroy his library and stuff, he's like, "This can't get in the wrong hands." So I kinda thought that he was not cool when we thought he was, like, dead, but now I think he's okay. Wiener though he may
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
And like to be clear, I'm saying it from the perspective of the cleric in the party when he was like, the religiously inclined. Oh, you and your brother are siblings. That's weird. I've never heard of the concept of adoption, even though I clearly have picked up you two are not necessarily blood relatives.
Mhm.
Like that. Clocked that. But no. Science and math oriented guy. Very,
But it
I can't
seems like
even say it.
we're gonna have to go to the astral plane at some point, which we kind of were leaning
Thinking
that
we
way
had
for
to.
a while, but
Mhm.
but yeah.
Oh yeah, whenever someone did a dispel magic on something important, we destroyed something important to stuff anyway. He's just like, oh, I
We
guess.
dispelled magic on the lizard, which was his familiar, and the lizard was the key to the box that was shooting us when we shot it.
We shot his pet.
We didn't
The
shoot the
key.
pet. We dispelled magic on the pet. We shot the box, and the box shot us.
We killed his pet.
We dispelled magic on a familiar.
We killed his pet.
Listen, Veldrin did it, and it was because Sari suggested it, and no one else said no.
Wasn't even there for
blame
that.
it on Sorry. Sure.
Right, and then so Marn might be from Earth 616 or whatever, and he's coming into our universe. So yeah, that was another point that was brought
yeah.
up. Yeah.
We got Marn's real name and it's some bullshit like Marndrew.
No,
It was
no.
Morrow Rub what
Kozik
is
has it. Kozik has it.
Morrow Adrius, the Reaper of Nothingness.
Mandrew, the Reaper of Nothingness. And I know it's Morrow Adrius, but it's also shorten it slightly.
Yeah, in some foreign tongues, in the Drow tongue.
He's a drow. He doesn't know about current drow, but he is familiar with the eradication of the drow, which is very funny. And also goes to her point of, where were you then? He doesn't know who Lolth is. Very interesting.
My joke of it was, this is like the Night Sisters in Star Wars, where they exist in two galaxies as like identical species, but time has made them culturally like pretty different.
Yeah, they've got different concerns.
And his drow people lived on the surface and in the Underdark, meaning like, oh, I guess they achieved world peace through maths.
Just like Veldrin aspires to.
But they don't, because they also go to war. I clocked that too.
That's why it's aspirations.
Now I hear you.
Okie dokie.
I think we covered it all. Oh yeah, and he's about to use Zedrin's child to power a generator.
And he
Is that
assured
where
us
we
that
left
it
off?
would not he assured us that it would not harm little one.
And I'm sure being in a door didn't harm the demon.
I mean, we can give it a try.
So
Yeah.
wait, he's using little one to see if we can transport somewhere else.
Yeah, he's gonna teleport us out of here using the little guy. Because the little
Okay.
guy is actually quite powerful of a little thing. The Lady Sarissa and the big old
Quite
white
all-
dragon guy was like, he's actually really powerful. Unfortunately, he has picked one of you out as his father. Keep him
Not
safe type
unfortunate.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunate from the perspective of this is literally an heir to a dragon religion.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunate for them.
Yeah. God forbid if something happened to him type thing.
All right. Alrighty.
Oh, is that why Marn was actually using the little guide to study? Oh. Is that why Marn had that secret laboratory full of amethyst dragon pieces?
See, these are things that you guys got to keep me up to speed on because I had
You
no
were
idea.
there?
No, I had a
Oh
large
man, you
gap.
got
I left before Sari ever joined the game.
Secondly, this was actually before Opal and Sari left joined the campaign.
So was this in that
What was it?
underground place
Yes.
in the Feywild
Uh-huh.
with the red mist and the stuff and okay. A lot of I'm like, do I remember I'm like, oh, I do remember the crystals and yeah.
Where we found the pieces of baby dragon shards.
I left
Yeah.
the game like
Oh yeah, you were definitely
almost
not there for that.
yeah, I
Sorry.
left the game like almost immediately after we entered the Feywild.
So yeah, you were not there for this, but it was close enough in time that I can understand why I'm confused. Sorry.
Yeah.
This was shortly before Sari was introduced. And also before Gavin was introduced. This is the same area where we had introduced Lord Voldemort.
Opal was there like just the week before I was.
Yes. Because we had two players drop out one after the other.
Mm.
I was going through it.
It was not you, actually.
Well, I dropped out because
You
I
were
was
also
going through it.
So, it was actually two players back to back. One of whom had tried to remake a character, it didn't obviously click. Yeah, it was that area. Cute. Did I hit the nail on the head, or am I, running a shot in the dark here, like I often do, by running my mouth?
In regards to
Was the reason for all the baby amethyst dragon shards in that little laboratory area because Marn was using amethyst dragon variations to study plane shifting.
There weren't any actual amethyst shards in there, but there were
He
shards
speaks-
from a different dragon.
Exactly.
You guys never figured that out.
I know, but I'm putting the pieces together now. Because if Ariam, this little dragon baby, is capable of plane shifting, then it might compute that others of that type would be capable of it as well.
Who knows?
Unfortunately, my character is not smart enough to put it together. So I am almost assured to not figure it out for a long time. God bless Neavara and her tin int. In my Pathfinder game, I play the witch who is always the party lore dumper because she has a stupid high end.
Righty. So, mic. My mic is. Hold on a sec. Okay, how about that? There we go. All right.
Also, if I recall, the very last thing that happened
The cat.
was a certain feline showed up.
Oh yeah, the cat.
Okay, is my mic coming through good?
Ooh.
And it's
Okay,
always
Oh,
check,
yeah,
check,
we
looking
were-
at
check.
Zed.
We were talking about the black diamond, and then woo, cat shows up.
Yep. But nobody seemed to have really had a chance to give that much mind because we had ended at that point.
Mhm.
So we pick up right where we left off. Because you guys had discussed some resting, some recovery, etc., after all the lore dump.
Oh yeah, we thought a little rest would be good to reclaim some stuff before we went on. Is that right?
I believe that was a suggestion. But like I said, you guys are still here. There's just a cat in a room.
Computer giving out.
Oh, I forgot to.
Can anyone hear me?
Yep.
Hi, sorry.
Oh, good. Thanks. I keep dropping you guys in the middle. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but guess I'll just be going in and out. Is anyone?
Well, the fact that the Dark Lady's hand can reach so far here into this strange dimension that we find ourselves, like I guess I'm heartened by that, but whenever I see this cat so aloof that it is, I just never know what to make of it. The cat's rarely of any help. But oh well. I guess we should probably take a rest if we're ready.
That mark is neat. What the hell? Oh. I mean, if that's what y'all want to do. Like the floor, the stage has now been opened up for you guys to do what it is you wish to do.
Well, I for sure need to at least rest before I can even try to go about removing a curse. Um,
Well, it seems like we're safe now with the wizard around. I mean, we probably don't have to be quite as on guard as we were.
I'm imagining at this point, because I did not hear where the cat ended up, that it's now in your lap and you're petting it like, Dr. Evil.
I'm like, oh, I hate this little guy. Ooh,
Kitty kitty.
scratching the kitty behind the ears.
Ah,
Oh, he wanted us
shit.
to sleep in his room. didn't he? We were gonna go there.
He gave you like a couple of options.
I think going to his room that he offered us would be nice. If everyone's chill with that.
Yeah. I ask him too. I want to ask him about the strange food that he has in his kitchen.
Oh yeah. Although the whole chronomancy thing makes slightly more sense. He's getting it from alternate planes. What bullshit.
Yes, what's the provenance of this extra dimensional kiwi fruit that I see?
It's probably yummy extra dimensional kiwi fruit. Is it really extra dimensional if it's just our dimension, but like, copy pasted one?
Wow. Potato. I mean, I guess.
Like, in theory, it is a parallel dimension, but it's also like, time's a river, right? It's just us, but like we made different decisions somewhere down the road.
Well, the people would always say a fruit in time saves 9.
What does that mean?
Well, you have to spend time well, you have spent time underground, I should say. I beg your
Yeah.
pardon. The fruit and the river of time. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but how does a fruit save 9? I must know.
So anyway, Mr. Wizard, yes. Something
Yes?
like the human stitching.
How do you stitch
What do you mean by
fruit?
human stitching?
A stitch in
get it.
time saves 9.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
said fruit.
Yeah, this is an extra dimensional kiwi fruit. You'll understand. It's a
Well,
way Homer.
if you were to have a rip in time, you would want it to be stitched, yes? And then he motions to the 3 glowing spheres in the room.
Obviously.
Sometimes you have to throw an apple through there.
Yay! There they are.
Throw an apple?
Well, hopefully we do not have to throw apples into space. That would be wonderful. Because sometimes things find those apples. And then they determine where you are. And I'd rather not.
Yes, we shouldn't waste fruit either.
Yes.
Oh, see, did we open the portal?
We're having a
Okay.
theoretical conversation in which Kozik said something truly bizarre that I'm trying to still get answers to.
Okay.
Sorry. Please help me. What would he be meaning when he says a fruit in time saves 9?
I do have a
fruit in
prominent.
time.
This banana is stuffed into my sword belt here, so.
I think it's just Kozik talking about his bananas.
I mean, it might be. I did benefit from a banana in his holster, but it being an ancient dwarven saving, I'm not sure about that, Kozik.
Maybe just our house.
I'm not sure about that, Kozik.
The House of Banana.
The noble house deep shaft with the covenants for fruit.
Of this, I can say no more. Please.
If I had to guess, Kozik, you are participating in the ancient traveler tradition of pulling someone's leg.
Good.
I see. Okay. Well, it sounds like we're going to his room. I look forward to this. Sleeping, trying to, realign. I guess chakras don't exist in D&D. The D&D equivalent of chakras.
Now, where are we going? We're going to his what?
The room with the
To
kitchen.
his. Okay.
You know, with the beds
Get. Yeah.
that we should have
get some
definitely
rest.
long rested in before, but like we didn't because we decided to long rest outside of this room.
Right.
You weren't here for that decision.
Since I would have disagreed. Let's go.
So, all make your way to the location. Move.
Just if you could move my, because mine isn't coming. I don't have anything on Foundry because my computer's running slow. So if you could
I
move
know.
my icon, I'd appreciate it.
Yep. But for the most part, you really need to move the tokens because
Yeah.
Easier
Because
to
we're just
mine.
standing around.
Mine, baby.
So you go to the
We're
room with the
doing Star Trek.
kitchen and the bedroom and that very cushy couch that Kozik had sat on, that the whole living room situation.
Mhm.
And yeah, nothing's really changed.
Remind me of the drow's name again. I had an awful time trying to figure out how to spell that one.
Name.
The wizard?
Better yet, type it.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of curious how it sounds to you. How did you write it out?
We'll
My
say it
audio
first.
process. Here's the thing. My my audio processing was so bad every single time you said the name that I don't even remember what it is.
Temporalis?
Like you can't even tell what it's trying to say.
Yeah.
Come on, give it
Find
a
his
shot.
name.
Like whatever it wrote down. Let's hear it.
Notes. It should. I should have underlined it. Ah.
Oh no, like in my mind,
dear-
this man just does not have a name because I do not remember what it is.
My dear friend and brother is just saying, like, it's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Okay.
Please
Okay.
say it again,
Morales.
DM.
That
Because I also
audio
don't remember his
processing.
name. Other than Wiener.
Temporalis.
And Niavara can refer to him as that, but for my notes too.
All right. So
The wiener.
unless I was looking at the wrong name, it should be Temporalis.
Oh my god, that's
Pluralis?
Temporalis.
Temporalis.
Oh, it sounds like
time.
an
This is
ancient
nom de
Greek.
magic.
Levina Temporalis.
Ancient Greek.
That
Temporalis
didn't help him
Proximus.
either.
Can I put this in chat for him?
Right, and wasn't he saying that he's kind of maybe been reincarnated or something, the equivalent of that? And now
Many
he's
times.
a drow, but he was not always such.
Correct. And like when he came of age, it really hurt his brain to remember all his lives at once.
His name's kind of on the nose. But I suppose that's helpful.
In real life, I did a whole like, oh my god moment. Leaned back from my computer and went, oh yeah.
I feel like we're in the Picard's briefing room in Star Trek Next Generation. And we've been in this briefing room like for hours.
Oh, we've moved now. We're now in his living space.
Sick bay.
Niavara is sitting on the couch.
I'll
You
just
know,
move him.
this is his place. She's expecting him to figure out what he's doing. She
And to
may
offer refreshment.
she may or may not be, you know, examining the cursed wounds.
There. So, as to be expected, when you walk into here, little one sneezes.
Mhm.
So are they just like little, I don't know the best way to describe it, like little jumps in time? Like, were we just sent into an alternate timeline where, like, instead of, walking normally into the room, I actually tripped into the room?
I need to reframe that question. Does not compute.
As in, like, if time is a stream, right? And this is just like an off branching of the stream, right? And we know that when little one sneezes, we're going into alternate timelines.
How do we know
Like,
that?
Oh, you have no idea. You have no
he
idea
told
what the
us that
sneeze
last time.
represents.
Okay.
Neovar thinks that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Combined with her little earlier freak out, she's, not disabused of her notion of it.
So we could now be in like Underdark 578 or something.
Exactly. But, like, I'm
Mhm.
asking, how far away would that alternate universe be? Is it like something big? And I'm just gonna have to suddenly deal with that change out of nowhere? Because, like, you told me not to worry about it when I was like, oh my god, freaking out. Like, what if when Velder and I were separated, this is no longer my brother? You're like, oh, it's not a big deal. So, like, how big are the changes to the timelines?
Well,
Are
the
you
room
Is it
looks
asking?
the
like,
same, right?
Are you asking
yeah, I'm
DM
asking
or him?
Temporalis.
Okay.
I'm assuming that baby doesn't know.
I do not know how your little one knows. I do not know how much you have told him.
He's a kid.
Then he
Knowing
probably
the
knows little.
I actually do not necessarily think that, given that we found him next to a hatched egg on his own in the middle of nowhere in ice on a ship that was destroyed.
No, it's probably not been a lot of training.
And he, did not take the opportunity to go with the two people who might have been able to help him. He wanted to stay with dad, which, real, reasonable. He loves his dad. Yay. Yay, love. But, like, you don't know? You're the guy whose whole deal is like this whole, like, and she, like, mimes twirling a mustache. Like, yes, this is my whole field of study. You don't know?
If only my field researchers had provided me with more information, then
Well,
probably I would.
that seems like you made a grave miscalculation.
It does
And
happen.
she, like, goes into, like, full drow, like, under Carmen there.
He matches. He knows Drow. Knows Undercommon.
Okay. You'll have to tell me what actually is your plan here. Because we have been stuck in here. We've released you from your imprisonment. But what are we doing? I know we're resting for the night. But other than telling us that the key will be little one, we can ask him. But he is child. He doesn't know. And perhaps there are some things that children shouldn't have to know.
Is there something you do not want him to know? Then I will not tell him.
That is not what I'm saying. I am more saying there is no value in scaring a child. You will only make them scared. They do not understand the bigger picture of this world.
Okay.
But you do not know. Then we are trapped here.
Oh, I understand that we are stuck here, but now we have keys. The key,
A baby.
little one, the one needed to power the device, the spell, That would be your Mr. Zedrian.
Mr. Zedrin is the spell.
He has the proper components.
Yes, his mistress, the lady of, and she sort of pauses. His dark lady.
Wait,
Or is
Zed,
it something else?
Zed has a. I didn't think Zed's connected to the Dark Lady.
I was unaware Mr. Zedrian had a dark lady.
It is,
I thought you were
simple.
talking. I thought the other. Someone else.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kozik. I misspoke. Alex IRL has a migraine
Oh, so sorry. Wow.
and misstepped words. So Kozik and his dark lady. Is that the key?
No. And he like does like a hand gesture towards Zed. This one is the one who has the proper tools to get us out of here.
All right.
Well,
So
could you tell him what they are? Because clearly he's not got an idea about it.
yes, dear Zedrin, our leader, is not necessarily uh in tuned with any of his innate magical aura.
Interesting.
Sometimes I point it out directly to him and he's not noticed. A shame. Could be quite funny.
It could, but we are more focused on getting out of here, no?
No,
Yeah.
I do have one
No?
last final question. As in, like, yes, it's a yes equals no situation.
Oh, okay.
One last final question for you. And she lowers her voice. What is your whole. Why are you surprised that I'm calling Velder my brother? Be honest.
Hmm. Well, at first, it was taking notice that you are not of same species. However, the interesting thing is you two are fundamentally very different, structurally. In
What do
more
you
than
mean?
one way.
Enlighten me.
He seems you can give me a little insight.
All right, Niavar, you are so talented at this. Do not flub it, girl. You have that +8. Do not flub this. Niavara, it's so average.
So,
Tell me what it is. I can't see the.
14.
Veldrin's paying attention because like Niavara is needling this man and he's like, what's going on here? So could I also roll an insight just to try and get this?
so Velgen's listening in.
Yeah, like he's paying attention.
Yeah. It's
Well,
on the
you've now
counter.
heard. You've now heard this man say that we're fundamentally different in terms of structure and not the
Mhm.
same species.
Mm-hmm.
So, what the fuck does that mean?
You
Not
guys
the
know
same in
that
terms
though.
of structure.
Let me get my camera here.
Yeah, but he
The
knows
structure.
one's a drow and one's a changeling.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing. But like, what does the structure part mean?
Exactly.
Do girls not exist in his universe?
Hmm. Well, I guess the question is, would you prefer the rest of your team to know things about you that apparently you might be learning?
What do you think I don't know about myself? If you are implying that I am a changeling and he is a drow, I know that full well. But
No,
what do you mean?
that is not what I am referencing.
Okay.
And he kind of shrugs, seeing that, we're. So what's everybody doing right now? Are there people getting food, going to bed, like on the couch? Like, who is meandering where? We'll say
Yeah, I want to be in the
Opal's
kitchen.
bedroom.
I'm pretty close by, just kind of trying to keep an eye on what's going
Do
on with
you
this
have
guy.
do you have undercommon as a language? Sorry.
No,
'Cause
Then you
that's what
just
they're
hear them
speaking
going
in.
back at each other.
I'm just watching.
All right, so you're in the room basically. Um. So what's Zed doing? Like, where is he? Is he in the kitchen, bedroom, just chilling on the couch?
No, he's standing here. He's probably leaned up against the wall, kind of like arms folded, just listening.
Does Zed have undercommon?
I think he
Yeah,
does.
he does.
All right, and Veldrin's obviously in this room. Representative. And what's Kozik doing? Is he
Come on.
is he getting exotic fruit? Is he getting a beverage? Is he in a bedroom? Is
Well,
he chilling on
yeah.
the couch?
Yeah, I've got to be in the kitchen checking it out. Now that I assume the food is safe to eat, whatever it is, whatever sort of Klingon gah that I find in there should be safe to eat, right?
Gah.
Kaplach. Um,
Blah.
Kaplach. Yeah, so you go through his stuff, and there's just like before, just a myriad of similar looking fruits and vegetables, but they're all, like I said, they're kind of off. Like celery, celery and lettuce that you'd expect to be green might be like a more of a like purplish color, or basically just sort of slight differences.
I'll see if I can fish out maybe a blue orange, and I don't know if there's some sort of hardtack in there, what kind of provisions we have, but
Yeah, green
yeah, I
eggs and ham.
want to try some of this food.
Oh yeah, I can see everything.
Dr. Seuss. Yeah, so you spend your time going through there. Like there's nothing that impedes you from doing it. So you just kind of keep finding all this similar but different and weird, just fruits and veggies that you're not necessarily certain of what they would taste like, but I mean, at least you know what they look in some cases smell like.
Hmm.
All right. So while you're doing that, main hall, quote unquote main hall, well, the majority of people are in there. Some of which not knowing what the hell the conversation is going on.
Sorry's just very protective and is just keeping an eye on this guy and everybody because we still don't really know him. But she's just making sure everybody's all right.
Designated driver.
Exactly.
Sorry, definitely not.
If anyone's the DD, it's Veldrin.
Okay, not a great analogy, but
Sorry's not the DD. What she is the person at the bar who breaks up the fight
that's it.
and then has Veldrin drive everyone home.
All right. So he's going to mosey up to Niavara. Here, perhaps a representative model might help. And he holds out a hand and says, here, hold your hand up. Open palm, face up.
She'll do just that.
And then he'll touch a single finger to like the palm of your hand and utter some, arcane words, and you will see like where the lines of your palm would be starts to illuminate, and essentially you would start to see interesting symbols forming on your hand. Do not worry, this is just an illusion to convey a point as I explain these things. Some people
Alright.
are visual learners, as I have understood. So, indeed, I need you to hold up your other hand. Face down. Or palm down.
Alright. And so she'll, match that as well.
And he does the same thing. So, what I am able to ascertain as to your structure, a preliminary understanding at least. This, if you were to say, good? No. Yes, good. This hand, open. The other, evil, darkness, decision, selfishness. Yes. If you were to put them both together, you become a whole. Now, imagine if this hand were to represent a piece of something very powerful. And he points to the hand that is illuminated. And then you were to take that and shatter it. You were left with fragments, yes? In most cases, you would, yes. However, and then he points to the other hand. If you were to take the other half and mend those cracks, you create something completely different. And then he'll like look up to you. And you are that different. You are fundamentally whole. But there is something else to you. Something that changes you. More so than your physical appearance. One would say a power that goes beyond perhaps what you thought you knew. Yes, I do see. I see. And he'll just like reach both hands up and like, not like caressing or anything, but just like holding your face and looking in your eyes and like narrowing and just like it gets to a point where it seems like he's looking for something, like with your 14 insight. Like he's looking, he's searching, the cogs are turning.
Oh, this is so creepy. And she'll say that really under her breath.
It is all right. Your first time being exposed to true science. All right. I see. And he puts his hand, like pulls his hands away. So, remember the talk we had previously about the gods and their powers?
Uh-huh.
Congratulations. You have a bit of a fragment of one inside of you. Like I said, fundamentally different.
So you're saying that, if I'm following this correctly, the good part of a god shattered into a bunch of little pieces, and the evil part of it decided to try and fix it. And one of those fragments was fixed into me?
Yes, that could be one way to put it.
Well, what's another way to put it? Because, like, you were going a little on esoterically. Secondly, I have been exposed to science in the past, obviously.
I know I'm just messing with you. I'm sure you can understand the joys of poking fun at somebody, right? And
Little
he smirks a little
emissary
bit.
of Orion. Yes.
Good. So, either way, I guess one way to put it, the best way I can even consider giving this information that makes the most sense without going into long-winded research journals and academic speak. There is a seed of a gold inside of you. Congratulations.
All right. And she'll sort of put a hand over her chest, like, okay. That is interesting information, but also a little bit troubling.
He shrugs.
I know that you don't have a dog in this race, but I do, unfortunately.
Is Niavara the only seed, or are there multiple pieces and thus multiple people?
Good question. I have not had a chance to analyze other people in their extreme. You, on the other hand, you are also fundamentally interesting. Born of one world, and then becoming a part of another. I can safely say I actually probably have some experience with that, but not to the degree that you may have.
I have very little experience.
So tell me, what happened to your hand?
My mother cut it off.
And yet you still have a hand.
Well, before it was the bones put together by a necromancer. And now it regrows.
And he holds up a finger like, exactly. You started off as one thing. And through whatever means, whatever happened, you have become something different. I do not know your full story, but I can tell that there is a structure difference. A normal creature would have a singular essence, function. No. And he puts a finger on his chin and taps it and looks down like he's trying to find words. No. Like a spell. Yes. Transmutation. Think of it that way. You were born as one thing. You at your core, drow. Correct? Yes.
Yes.
And now there is drow, but there is something that has also transmuted. And then he'll motion to your hand and have you like in motion to like have you hold it up.
He does.
And he grabs it and he kind of like does like a little like finger exercise, like kind of stretching, like extending them, kind of like like stretches. And you would see your hand start to take on that starry appearance. From what I can tell, these here at least. Well, first off, you said the hand was cut and rebuilt. Well, reapplied technically. That would still technically be a part of you if it was kind of remade. But this is different. This is changing that fundamental. One might say necromancy to some other magic. And of course, as you had pointed out, you are a druid that worships the stars now.
Is the regrowth because of the Fae or because of being a druid?
And he holds up a finger again, kind of like old school, like Matlock. Just like, And he does like the finger waggle as he's thinking. Now that is what makes this story very interesting. I do not know what you went through from that point to now. I only know what I am observing currently. But the Feywild does have many things that can change a person. So I would not put it beyond that. But this magic does not seem a Feywild, how you say, source. I mean, you turn into a constellation.
Turn him into a constellation. Like, what the fuck?
You've never not seen a druid of the stars? Ones that worship the sky? Ones that draw
I
power
seen
from
him.
other worlds? Yes.
I normally, and this is just weakness, I don't like nature gods in general. This is a personal weakness of mine that I'm growing to overcome.
That is good. You will probably need to learn how to overcome some of these things as time goes on with what is
I,
fundamentally a part of you.
okay, regardless, what happens to my brother?
That is a good question. As of right now, he is as much the part of the sky as, well, the astral sea is to itself.
So one day he's just gonna what, disappear? He's supposed to outlive me.
Well, that will be entirely his choice and what path you take. I cannot determine that. Like I said, I observe what is in front of me and analyze. Do some calculations.
The emissary of Orion. The bothersome.
Thank
Fine.
you.
Okay.
I've heard that
Okay.
before. Tell me, when this change happened, were you worshipping a sky god of something?
No, I was worshipping Loth, and I wanted to go back to my sister.
And I take it you do not worship this Lord anymore.
No,
I see, I see.
Oh no. Uh,
what?
continue.
Nivaro, what?
Being a little bit self-presumptuous. Go on.
Well, it was all that I needed to say, I suppose, regards to answering your question. Oh, I'm losing the accent so bad.
Worshipping a god of the sky. Yes?
It would seem so, considering. Well, and then he
How
shows Veldrin's hand that's currently like astral, like kind of, the jet black and the sea of stars.
what about a god that represents freedom?
I
That
could.
isn't known to have a form, but rather is known by the space in between.
That could be a thing as well. Yes, I could see that being a part of the hypothesis.
If he was looking for me and I'm part of a god, and if the god I'm thinking of is who I think it is,
Do you
would
think
it
it's
be
the same one that I share a name with?
Veldrin? No. If you do, you share a god with any?
Veldrin
it-
is the drow word for shadow. Shadow and Veldrin are the
Oh.
same thing.
No. Like my shadow or something else?
That shadow is part of your pantheon, is it not?
I don't think that is the god that I'm part of. Although that would be funny. No. There is something that I don't talk about to any of you. I don't actually hear from the traveler when I pray. They simply do not talk. They're not there. I see the others. As recently as, less than a week ago, I had the dream where I saw all of them except my patron. And I was being invited to sit down at the table. The traveler cannot be bound to a place or form. They're, nothing. They're the space in between. Everything and nothing. The sky and freedom.
But we are not the same. He said we are different.
No, but it's just a thought. What I'm saying is that if he considered that you were being changed on account of having been praying to a god of the stars, and you were actually looking for me, well, it's a thought hypothesis, no?
Does my nature appear as if it is godlike in any way? He's asking that to our guy,
The homie.
the homie.
The wiener.
Or like, hmm. Well, if there is a new breed of god, then maybe it would be interesting to study.
New
Well,
breed in what way?
Well, you are not one of the faith, correct?
No.
You do not worship any gods or deities, and yet, here we are, you are a druid, you do not worship, well, any particular entity. Therefore, your power must be coming from somewhere else.
Myself, as your power would come from you, does it not?
No, no. My power comes from the weave and knowledge. My birthright, I do not have any idea as to how it became part of my existence, but like I said, I do not want to risk the chance that there is a limit on how many times that I can come back. So I guess one way to put it is I am attempting to be willfully ignorant as to my own situation. We all have our flaws.
understandable.
But if there is some kind of sky god out there, then that would be interesting, considering gods have much less power out in the astral than they do on their relative planes. There are things in the astral that how would you I guess the best way to put it without being offensive to some would be there are things in the astral sea that could wipe the floor with gods. They can make gods look like playthings. And I'm sure you can understand why I prefer to not get myself lost out there. The last thing you want to do is come across something that does not want you there and has more influence over the physical realm than deities. No, thank you.
Veldrin's face is like going through a lot of emotions right now. He's like, he wants to say something and then he'll pause and he'll think. So my realm is the astral? Is that what you're saying?
It would seem that is where your power is originating from, yes.
And that my power is more like a god's than anything else.
Well, I am seeing I am not truly understanding the structure. Gods have certain, and he does like the hand motion, ways of constructing things. Your construction seems very different as far as how you are interacting with the weave. A very rare case, one that I have not come across before in my many lives. So it proves to be very enlightening to come across such a robust group of interesting outcomes. Oh, and by the way, he calls out in common into the kitchen. If you're looking for something to snack on, look in the cupboard. The stove will turn on if you use the proper command word, so if you wish to cook something, by all means, it is yours to utilize. And he's calling out to Kozik from like the living room.
Okay, thank you.
I'm happy that someone's having a good time. Well, that's not good. Hey, Vel,
What?
willing to bet that that's why Mom bought me?
It could be.
You seem down.
When
And I call out, presto. No, that's not going to do it. All right.
when we were
Right.
going through the rooms, in one of them there was the creature we should not say the name of. That is, I assume, one of those creatures you speak about in the astral sea.
Was it Mr. Thaggy?
He's saying that to Temporalis.
The Agarothian situation? It could be. I do not know the extent of that particular entity's power, but if it has the ability to simply force itself into other entities' realms, then that is a possibility. Especially if there's something that does nothing but consume. It could have consumed very many powerful things and moved beyond that level. I personally have not had a chance to study it, as I had been more recently preoccupied with dealing with a Mr. Marn and his forces,
I
and
can tell
actively
you a few
avoiding
things.
many astral terrors.
I can tell you a few things, at least whatever truth you can pull from what I saw in the room. But in the room that with the doors and they changed based on who opened them. One of them, I was in the astral sea and I saw it. And well, first I was coming up on a planet and there were people and I went to go reach the ground and they were turned around horrified watching what was I thought me but was apparently behind me. And it just destroyed the planet and then it moved on and I followed it and I spoke to it. I got that it was part of the Eternal Feast and to see what would happen if I reached out. I knew that it would bite my hand off, but I reached out with my hand and it bit it off. Otherwise, it comes through these portals and attacks and consumes. And it seems to understand that Neovara is important to me and it wants to hurt her because of that.
As those entities are off to do, yes.
What is its goal in hurting her? What does it want out of me because of that?
Based on what you have told me, it sounds like an eternal feast can go beyond just the physical consumption. Anguish, emotion, to some creatures can be a meal. Some undead feed on suffering, some demons feed on suffering. So it makes perfect sense to me that it could also be simply trying to instigate suffering as to feed off of you.
And what if I dry up?
Then it would
What if
probably
I
move on to someone else.
What does it take to destroy something like it?
He goes and he sits down on the couch. Well, that is the eternal question that we all end up asking, isn't it? And if anyone had the answer, then I am sure we wouldn't have this problem.
I did have a voice speak to me that said that it was willing to help and that it would take much, much more than I had to kill something like this. So I think there is someone who has an idea, but I don't know who that is.
Well, if there is someone who can claim to destroy something so potent, the question is, do you trust it? Would you trust it? Is it worth trusting? Is it actually working against you?
I don't trust anything that doesn't give me a reason to trust it. I don't know anything about this voice, so why would I?
Then it might be possible to try not to communicate with it again. And he kind of shrugs because I could only imagine trying to talk to something. Okay, here are the two outcomes that I foresee given the current amount of information. A, and he holds up his left hand, you have an entity reaching out to you claiming to destroy something that has a level of power that is extremely formidable. Perhaps on the same level as the gods, if not stronger. And then he lifts up his right hand, like, palm up. Or you end up ignoring them. What if they do have the power? Do you trust it at that point? If it had that much power, why wouldn't it simply deal with the problem itself?
Is it possible to get these things to eat something else, to feed on something better?
I am sure if you present a large enough dinner plate for them, they would go for something else. But if it's an eternal hunger, then unless you have an eternal food source, it will eventually turn.
Why don't they eat each other? They are eternal, are they not?
I would not know. He shrugs. I only know of what you are telling me and putting information together. I know of one entity, the Agarothian situation, and then an unknown entity that claims it has the power to be of assistance. Could it be a rivalry? I do not know. Could it be a part of itself trying to eliminate another part of itself? I do not know. It is all speculation, and the question is, how much are you willing to risk an entire realm on such speculation? Me? And he points to himself and leans back on the couch. I would not trust. I would find some other way. There is always something out there. There is always an alternative. You'll just have to understand the larger picture.
If she is a piece of a god, and I am godlike, and he is an ancient warrior, then what does it take to destroy something like this if that thing still reached out to me saying it could help?
And he does finger guns at you. Now that is a perfect question, an eternal question. And he kind of smirks a little bit.
Maybe it was just greedy.
It could be greedy, or we could be dealing with something that is so big that it is going to take an incredible effort and an incredible allyship or whatever in order to make fixing this happen.
Probably. But like I said, I am just a simple wizard that is specializing in the manipulation of, and he snaps his fingers, time. Yes, Conrad.
Sure. A simple wizard. In a simple tower. Definitely do not look behind the curtain of this one. Okay. Okay, so do the people around that understand this? Are we going to tell Sari the truth about, I guess, any of it? Yes, no, maybe so. Because I remember that beautiful Sari does not speak a lick of Undercommon. She points a finger at Zedrin. You know Undercommon. You've been listening in. Much appreciated, by the way. But like, and she does turn to Veldrin. Do we want to keep this private? Family business?
It doesn't change anything.
It changes lots of things.
Maybe.
Meanwhile, Sari's just like standing in the corner, like looking intently at everybody, like talking in this language she doesn't understand.
She believes they'll reveal to her
No.
what she trusts her friends.
Speaking of friends, we're gonna have to make a whole lot of them.
Yeah, we were already trying to do that. Teal Moonblade sent us on a mission to go gather her former adventuring party. So we are already on a way to try and find people who we can defeat this monster with.
Wait, what monster? The
The
one from
Weave.
the
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 tentacles.
Oogie
that one.
Boogie.
Okay, sorry. The Oogie Boogie, yeah. He shall not be named. They shall not be named.
Well, whether or not you are willing to tell your party members of your situations, that is on you. I am simply relaying information. What you'll do with it, well, that is your weapon to wield.
Cry about it, probably. And then a couple panic attacks later, I will get over it. The existential questions about it are, bad. And the metaphysical questions of it are worse. No?
What are your metaphysical questions?
Well, for starters, what the fuck happened? What would have done to destroy a god, and who would have gained by hacking it into pieces? Are there other pieces of it around? That seems quite dangerous, no?
He said he doesn't know if there's other pieces.
Yes, I'm worth saying. Because we don't know if there are other pieces, therefore there's going to be a consideration, a problem. Yes?
Oh, sorry, once in on this conversation so bad. No, that's not true. I want in on this conversation. Sorry, Fro.
That means that there are going to be issues, problems. It could be that there are many pieces of us. And all of us want to be, the main piece and have been busy trying to collect the others.
Maybe
That's a very drow way
sister.
of thinking.
Maybe sister's another piece in the.
She's already said that I'm better than her though. As a quick question, she's actually going to like dig into her bag. During that encounter, she stole sister's knife. Is it real or was it also an illusion?
Also an illusion.
Ah, so it wasn't actually her.
No, but
Probably.
if they were revealing things about ourselves in some way. I opened the door and she was there. You followed.
Yes, because I don't want you to get hurt. Shockingly, I like you, and I do not want you to be hurt.
But she wants to take you out.
Yes, because she's weak.
But maybe she wants to be the main piece.
Could be. Always terrifying. Is it weird that I'm like less terrified of something like her wanting to be the main piece when it's like, oh, yeah, that's her. And like versus like a random stranger? Like, oh, it's just that one. That's probably a little mean of me to say.
Well, not all strangers are going to be awful people.
No. But anyway, point being, I don't have a point. It's a problem, at least in my mind. that we don't have necessarily good answers. So, and then there's you. What the fuck? What did you get yourself involved in? I.e. with your hand, druidism.
Apparently something I didn't intend.
He snaps his fingers and gets up out of the couch. Sit tight. I almost forgot about your little curse situation.
I am fully capable of healing that in the morning. I'm fully capable of healing that in the morning.
It's okay to accept help.
Assuming pride allows you to. It's okay. I perfectly understand. I was young too.
Ugh. As though this is just a pride thing. Did you consider that I have to be able to take care of myself?
Yes. And yet here you are, with a party of several people, looking out for one another. If you were truly taking care of yourself, they would not be here with you.
Ah, but the difference is that I'm both taking care of myself and them. Yes, this is my job.
And it's okay to accept help. He's offering it, Niavara. We have to make friends, don't we?
Or at least allies. And then he walks out. Fucking mosquito. Got him.
Veldrin's gonna turn to Sari. Apparently I am like a god.
Now, what's that mean? Like a god?
He said
What's
my
that mean?
So as he's walking out the door, you hear him like yell something in the hallway. Or god adjacent, that could be one way to put it.
God adjacent.
Or fundamentally different. And you hear like the footsteps fading as he's going somewhere.
Love this guy, man. So you're God adjacent, or you're like a god. What did he tell you, Niavara?
Nothing good.
What's that?
He went on this with a complicated metaphor about like, oh, so if you take your one hand and you put it out like this, and she copies it, and then your other hand out like this, imagine the first hand getting smashed into a million goddamn pieces, and like one of the pieces getting healed by the other hand, and the first hand represented good and the other hand represented evil. And imagine like a piece of the good being healed by the evil, and that piece is you.
A piece of what exactly?
a traveler.
Likely. A god.
A god that was broken into pieces. Aye. You know, I
Like,
think they've got a habit of bursting into a million shards when they're recreating themselves, you know.
it could be. The
So you've
traveler
got
has had a million
y-
lives.
It's very
so
interesting to
you've
see
got a
how they
piece of the
interpret how they're
traveler in you,
interpreting
have you?
this. It's very interesting.
Apparently. If we if we believe that, I should say. And she swaps back into, you know, her more performative accents.
Well, I think it only matters if it matters to you, or if it changes things for you, or if it redirects you, or something like that. But you're still exactly who you were before you learned that information, aren't you?
If it matter, sorry.
What?
They're my patron. Got it. God. Am
Right,
I
right,
praying to
right, right.
myself? That's weird. Incestuous.
That is weird. His little one,
Thank
Excuse me.
you.
his
Well,
little one calling from Zed's
it's
shoulder.
just a shard. It's just a shard. You wouldn't
Yeah.
pray to like one small piece of the
Alice.
goddess if it were the god, would you now? No. And if you believe sometimes like they say God is in everything, well, not the little gods they're all into, but I'm just saying like the whole God would be all the pieces. If you're just one little piece, you're not praying to yourself when you pray to him, you're praying to the whole of the God.
Except
Don't
the
get
whole of the
carried.
god's gone, and I've known that
No,
for a long time. I've just ignored it.
but maybe it's
Zed's
just
gonna
gone
pipe
in
up
its
out of the
previous
corner,
form.
and I believe that we're all drawing conclusions to things that otherwise aren't necessarily meant to be made sense of.
Right.
Oh, but they
Whatever.
make the best conversation.
Whatever. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm annoyed. He's a wiener. He's like the living, walking semblance of Orion talking around like, oh, yes, science. We'll solve it.
Do you
And
not
yes,
want to
he's being a
solve
little.
things?
I do, but it's like a little bit condescending to treat as though that I already wasn't trying to solve things on my own. Sometimes I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. That's not the same thing as me not trying to figure it out.
I've
I
got a
try.
thought for you, Nevar. I've got a thought for you.
Hmm.
I've got a thought for you. So he just laid all this intellectual information on you about yourself. And if you're trying to figure it out with your head, it's going to make you a bit squirrely. So I recommend you just meditate a little bit, get your head out of it, and see what it feels like without your head chewing on it.
Oh yeah, go, engage in some, practical meditation to the traveler.
No, not to the traveler, with yourself.
Also the traveler.
Touche!
When I
A
meditate, I pray.
a wee bit of the traveler. Well, I'm
Meditate
talking about
in a way
sitting
that's
quietly with
different.
it.
Meditate in a way that is to clear your mind and not think.
I never have done that. I don't do that. It was not done.
I just got to say, and s- for whatever it's worth, if it were as simple as you just being a god, and he's looking at Veldrin, or you having a piece of a god in you, that's what fella would have just said, instead of all the metaphorical sort of ambiguity. I don't think it's as simple as what we're necessarily concluding, but it's something more or less like, if I'm trying to explain something to you that you otherwise will not understand, I have to explain it in a way that could make sense. That
Oh,
might
I
not be how it
understand.
actually is,
I
but
understand that I am not a god.
Nevar is sort of like rolling up her sleeves, like, on the one hand, yes, I do believe that in fact that there might be something more to it that I have to sit with and digest. On the other hand, Zedrin, my dear, you are giving him so much credit. I think that he just talks like that for fun. Like, I'm well and familiar. And he admitted to being a little bit long winded for fun and laughs. So,
I
I think
don't think
half of
it's meant to mean a lot. Like it, I don't think it's meant to. Like it's like saying my great great grandfather was the king of what's it not, and I sure it's in your blood, but it doesn't mean anything, right, for your present experience. So don't let it trip you up and get in your head.
I'm not gonna let it necessarily get in my head. I don't care about the actual like, oh, am I actually part of him? That's whatever. That's actually a common story in my religion. That's fine. The traveler is known to do this, like to walk around as people. Like every like grand feast you're supposed to hold. You're supposed to hold a space for the traveler to be there because he could be. Whatever.
Right,
That's chill. The
right.
problem is that he's saying that the god got smashed into a bunch of little pieces. And so my, paranoid brain is going to the, oh, I'm just a little worm. I'm definitely going to be hunted down for this little shard.
I don't think that's how it works, love. I don't.
And
Also,
it
the
might
point
All
not.
right.
that I was trying to make is what he described wasn't necessarily literally what happened.
Right,
It was a metaphor for something that's probably larger than what we can understand.
right. What he's saying.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know what a child of the stars is. I have no fucking idea. I see stars when I lay down to go sleep at night. But like, I guess a bit to Sari's point, that honestly doesn't change anything as far as I'm concerned right now.
Well,
And
yeah.
I'm actually being a child of the stars doesn't mean I was born from a star, quite literally. Like, it means something else, but I don't know what that is. So it's more or less, I guess, now you know something more about you, but you're just along for the ride, I guess.
Well, it means that you're definitely, like, it might explain some of the memory issues that you've been having. If you're technically speaking all across all across these parallel universes, it could be that you've been jumping from one timeline to the other in the same body, right? But like the body in different points in space and time. At
Aye,
one
well,
point,
that's
you're on the ship with you're with your captain, and the next you're on a ship by yourself, and then you're in the town, and then you get kidnapped.
But that's not his point.
no, that while that's true, or while that could be true, I'm not thinking that's concrete had to been what happened, you know?
Oh no,
That
I'm
is
not
possible.
saying it as like this is definitely what happened. This is theorizing, and I guess it's just type thing.
The thing that I am admittedly most concerned with is the fact that in order to deal with the tentacles, we're going to have to amass a lot more power than we all currently have. And that means being nice.
I
And
am
look at me,
nice.
Avara.
I am nice. I'll have you know I'm a very nice, loving person, and at every single place that we've been to, I've made friends.
You're not making this one, and he seems to be useful.
What have I done precisely that has made him not want to be my friend?
Little one lands on
Act
Niavara's
hostile.
shoulder. She's nice to me.
Thank you, little one.
Hmm.
I am, because you're a sweet little guy.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I don't know why you're picking on your sister right now, Veldrin.
It's because he's upset about something.
Well, what is it, Veldrin? What's going on?
We just have a lot of work to do.
Deflection. Doesn't matter, sorry.
Well, here's the thing, you got your gods and your monsters and your children of stars, and I mean, you've got as many of those things as you do. Like, everybody's got a story, but it the same thing happens to us all. It just unfolds as it will. So I don't think any of it is. I mean, if it turns out it's helpful, great. But
It ideally will. Anyway, Veldrin, me being a little bit hostile to I'm just gonna be real again. Okay, all of us, and she points around the circle. We're like, oh, this guy has to be kind of an asshole. He's a wizard in a tower. You know, when we were like walking up to him, now that we see him, obviously, like, yeah, I'm not like attacking the guy, but I also, have reservations. I just met him. The only person I have not had reservations about is Miss Tia Bloomblade, and that's because she was upfront about being weird, which I appreciated.
I think his entire house has been very upfront that he is weird.
Except he wasn't here for it. He was, frozen in time.
Yes, self-imposed.
L. We're going in circles. Me being a little bit, concerned about this weird though, does not
You
mean
can
that I'm being hostile to him.
you can
Let's
be
put
concerned,
what is
but
the
you're also
hostility?
refusing help.
Me being a little bit put off by the fact that he's going to, do the one thing that I can do for you.
You don't have to do it for me.
Do you not want me to?
Bend over backwards for me.
Heal you.
Heal me, protect me. You don't have to do those things.
But I want to because you're my brother. Duh.
He is offering help. If you wait until tomorrow, that's less spells you could cast later in the day if we need it. It's okay to accept help.
I think Niavara's point, and I get both sides of it, but I think Niavara was more along the lines of like, and Zed's gonna like pull out his thieves' tools and kind of like roll them between his fingers, kind of like you would a coin or something like that. If we were standing in front of a locked door, knowing that I could pick the lock and I enjoy doing it, but we just met some other Joe Blow and he pulls out thieves' tools and you're like, oh, actually, yeah, why don't we have this fella that we just met pick the door? Knowing full well that like I got proclivity for it and it's kind of like my thing. I think that's more or less just along the lines. It's like, yeah, we can accept help, but also it's kind of what I do.
And like I guess it's okay. It's more just Ugh. I guess it's also the do we really want to have like a random drow feed this potion?
He's
I know
not
he's
from where we are from.
he's
I don't think he's
saying
random.
that. I would actually argue that because of what his magical specialty is, this guy is the epitome of random.
Well, I think he's good. I think he's well intentioned. I think he's well intentioned, and he's got some information for us, and that's all.
Mhm.
That's all right.
With what he knows about Marn and
Uggy.
so many of the other things we've been dealing with, what would his motivation be against us? He seems like he is on the same side.
I don't think anyone has suggested otherwise. I
No, I
think
kinda
Niavara's
did.
just a bit perturbed at the situation, which is fine because we're all learning a whole lot in a short amount of time after almost being killed by hundreds of Slendermen.
Yeah, that sucked. And she will point a little finger at Veldrin and sort of, shake it a little bit. If it was a girl, tell me honestly that you would not have concerns.
What do you mean?
If she was a matriarch drow.
I mean,
And
the
she's,
story is still that she wouldn't be from where we are.
I know, but then she's like, oh, here, take this potion. I pinky promise nothing's going to happen next. That's all. It's just unsettling.
Right, but it's not like we're taking anything. I mean, if anything, he's a, he's catching a ride with little one. I mean,
Yeah,
we're the ones with the means at this point.
and that also scares me because I don't want him to bother to hurt the little kid, right?
I
He's
don't
also
think he's gonna hurt
only
the kid.
offering help to you and I, and there's 4 more of us.
Yeah, if you and I drop dead, avenge us. She turns his head.
And at that
He'll just
perfect
Just
moment,
nod.
he pokes his head in the door and walks in.
I'm assuming you heard at least some of that.
Yes.
Blame Lolth.
Do not draw hate for people that do not trust me. That is
Ugh.
perfectly fine. And he just kind of puts a small flask in your hand. Trust or not, the end result is your decision. I leave that to you.
Okay, OC, I missed something. What is this potion about?
It's to heal our curse.
How did I miss this? What curse?
We got cursed in the battle
Niavara,
with the Slenderman.
yeah, they got stabbed.
Oh, right, right. Oh, I wasn't there with that. Okay, yeah.
And then he'll
Okay.
hand one to Veldrin.
Is it oral or do we pour it over it?
You'll just apply it to the wound directly. That should do it.
Rest assured you'll be avenged should anything happen.
He is more powerful than all of us, so I doubt our chances, but L.
Yes, if I wanted to
that's the
kill
case.
you, you would probably be dead already. And then he goes and sits on the couch.
Veldrin uses the potion.
Puffs.
Seeing it, she sighs and she's like, I have said my piece, and she pours it on her own hand as she's like,
Afflictions.
I don't normally take, strange potions from strangers.
Table. Get rid of that.
And then they die.
Yeah, we actually have our news sheets already made up. This was all dramatic, the build up to it. Sorry.
What? I'm
The
sorry, what
curse was
did you say?
removed. Oh,
Cool.
Niavara was joking that we had new characters. That
Rolled up.
Veldrin and Niavara just died.
You gave me the idea. I was just playing off you. It was right there.
So, you apply the salve, as it were, directly to the wounds, and you would see, like, because you still have like the hit point damage from it, but they, yeah, it's not healing your hit points. It's not closing the wounds, but you also haven't really tried doing any healing either.
Yeah, this is a good sleep will help.
Yes, it should be fine if all worked as intended, which I am very confident that it does. Your wounds should be able to be healed.
Well, thank you for the healing potion of a sort. I guess it's not really a healing potion because healing potions is a specific magical item, isn't it?
Well,
Thank you
so
for the
is
potion that healed.
yes, it is just something from my experiments, that I have learned to refine to have no ill effects. But of course, there was only a couple, as somebody seems to have ransacked through some of my rooms.
It wasn't us. Said totally deadpan. We
It
didn't
is
find any potions.
it is all right. I expect adventurers to overturn every potential situation and probably activate mini traps that I have laid in the hopes of removing some of the harm situation.
I just remembered something. When we first entered your tower, there was a creature in the first room that we recognized as the same flump that we saw in our own Underdark. Not whatever this one is. How is that?
Drugs. That is interesting.
I think flumps have their kind of own, properties to them.
Yes, they're. I mean, they could look similar. Are you sure it was the same one? How many flumps have you
Fairly
seen
certain.
before?
I'm fairly certain.
Just the one, but they have the same name, Clarence.
Did it actively tell you its name?
Did it? Ooh, I actually don't remember that.
I just called it Clarence because it's the only other flump I ever seen.
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure that it had no idea what I was talking about. You remember the mushroom creature that we saw in the first room of the tower? Sorry.
Right, but you called it Clarence because it's the only other. Oh, the only other flump you ever met was named Clarence.
Well, I
Yeah,
called
dude.
that
That.
one Clarence as well. That wasn't its name
I
either.
see. Oh, I got you.
But
All right.
anyway,
To be fair, a
It's
flump
a
is
failure of
not a mushroom
imagination.
creature. They are like jellyfish with like eyes coming out of
Oh,
their head.
And a weird
what?
little hole.
Like they're good little guys, but like they're weird looking.
Yeah, let me get an image for them just as a. Those little guys.
The
Except they're just
nomadic
really tiny.
flump. I think they're kind of big.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're small creatures.
I'm more saying for it what it looks like, they're pretty big,
Yeah, they're bigger than you expect.
but like not huge.
Yeah, they're about like I believe the size of like a house cat, because I think house cats are small, tiny.
I have a picture
Well,
of it
like,
drawn, like,
yeah,
accidentally frightening an adventurer.
There's some pictures of it
They're bigger
around
than cats.
human-sized creatures.
Yeah. So it looks like typically they're bigger than house cats. So not tiny, but like small.
I would also be terrified if I saw that thing in a box. Apparently, some people eat them.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
I'm
not
sure I'm
nice.
sure they have been served at some of those drow dinners.
Oh, now you're just trying to be disgusting.
Do not worry about it. There is none of those that you are currently consuming. As he calls out the Kozik in the kitchen.
What's that? What's that?
You're
Never
eating a flump.
Oh,
I thought. Oh,
don't listen to her. Don't listen.
I'm lying.
She's full of it.
oh, that's just like you. No, I think in the cabinet here I found some sort of eternal loaf that might be edible. It looks pretty good.
Okay, if it is an eternal loaf, does it like keep regenerating bread pieces, or does it
Uh,
mold at some point?
That's
We could feed
lemnis,
that. We could feed
lemnis
that to
bread.
the. We could feed that to the tentacles. It would never run out of food.
What? Who's feeding the tent? Oh, Jesus.
The tentacles want to eat and eat and not
Are
stop
you
eating.
seeing that he's trying to feed the tentacles?
No, I'm saying to keep it from eating worlds, we can feed it a piece of bread that never goes away.
Ah,
We
I
need to
see.
find it the impossible chocolate.
Impossible. Shock.
That's Nehemiah, I think that's too brain rotted.
She's a brat. Point being, uh, yeah. I mean, like flumps aren't, unusual to see around the Underdark. To be fair, I think I just sort of got caught up in the whole calling it Clarence because it was, I haven't seen a whole bunch of them either. They are, pretty common in the Underdark, though, Zed. It would have been funny if it was the same one, though, because it would have implied that he had some way to getting it in as well. Then again, they are like, psionic creatures on their own.
Yes, Will. With that lovely bit of information, I think I am going to get some rest.
Yeah,
That
this sort of
sounds
went nowhere.
great.
Good night. I will find some dark corner to, shut myself away and bye.
All right, then. Rest sounds good.
She'll hand little one back over to Zed.
Hey, Kozik, we're thinking of a rest.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. There's plenty of food in here if you guys want to have some.
I'll definitely have some when I wake up.
I'll go steal some for us, Vel. which
Steal
is
steal what?
food, a snack,
It, it's
and like
not
not steal
technically
as in like
stealing
literal
if someone
stealing.
offered it to you.
It's a turn of phrase.
Well, you're turning a lot of them tonight. I think you need some. Everybody just needs some rest.
Believe it or not, I actually don't steal all that much. My favorite thing to take from places that I'm not, allowed to take is buttons.
That's true. Wow, you just
And
cut right through the walls.
there's a door somewhere.
There's doors.
But
I
like,
think
yeah,
it's
over here.
Eclipse. She's zero clipped through the wall.
Got part of a god in her now, and she's just going through walls. Zed's gonna kind of just. He's been standing against the wall, just arms crossed, and just kind of leaned up against it, and he'll do one of those things where he just kind of like slides his feet out and just kind of slowly like slides his back down the wall to a sitting position. He'll kick his feet out and just kind of cross his legs, just lean his back or his head back against the wall and just kind of close his eyes and start to try and get a rest.
The other one uses
I'm
the
assuming
space in your
that-
lap to just lay there.
Yeah. I'm assuming that we don't really need to worry about a watch, but I'll have my Raven just in case.
All right. Consensus being long watch, long rest with a watch.
Long rest. I guess like just the 2 watches, whatever Zed does until he goes to sleep, and then whenever Niavara wakes up to pray.
All righty.
She
Well,
comes
luckily,
back, arms overwhelmed with food.
lots and lots of food. Kozik probably like knocked out immediately because probably got the
Stuff.
food sleepy.
Yeah, there was some sort of forever turkey in the pantry that I ate.
I knew you were going to say something about turkey. Thanksgiving knockout.
Some sort of magically tinned turkey. Yum. But yeah, I'm ready for sleep.
All right. So luckily, don't have to do any. There's no practical thing that would be happening in this situation. So yeah, you just get all a long rest.
And then is that rest
Secured.
enough for Niavara and Veldrin's curses to finish healing up?
Oh, they're
Oh, the
healed.
curse were removed.
Okay,
And
I
heal
thought you said
automatically
that.
over a long rest.
Okay.
Okay. Elves only need 4 hours, right? Or was it 6? I always forget. Yeah, it's 4. So about, let's see, because there's only 2 of you that are elves. So basically, at some point when everybody's napping, Veldrin would be very much, because elves don't even sleep; they just sort of meditate, zone out for a bit.
Mhm.
Like they're still technically active. Um,
Mhm.
so roughly around the same time that Veldrin feels refreshed from meditation or a trance-like state, Temporals would come out there too and just sit on the couch. Because elves only need 4 hours of rest quote unquote rest.
Veldrin will look at him.
And where's everybody else sleeping, by the way? So Zed's against the wall. Kozik probably fell asleep at the, the table in the kitchen.
Sure.
Nevar Pinky promises she was going to be, in like some dark corner, but actuality, had fallen asleep against the arm of the couch.
And where was Sari sleeping?
I was just kind of like Zed. I just kind of went down and just leaned against the wall as I was just kind of meditating, sitting on the
Okay.
ground, on the floor.
I love that there were
Veldrin
beds
got like
to
a
take.
Veldrin got like a comfy chair and just sat.
All right. But yeah, so he comes out and just sits on the couch. Yeah, he has like what looks like maybe a journal, and he's just scribbling some stuff in it.
Is there anything going on that you haven't told us about yet?
Not that I am aware of. I feel I have been as forthcoming as I possibly can. Information that I have available. Besides, I do not have anything that I need to hide. And he just kind of shrugs a little bit and goes back to like scribbling in his little journal. Why do you ask? Do you not believe the information that I have been able to acquire?
Miyavara doesn't.
Yes, I picked up on that. Like I said, that is perfectly alright. You do not need to trust everybody. It is probably better to not trust than it is to blindly trust.
I try not to blindly trust.
Good. Well, it would seem we will be here for a while before your friends awaken. Tell me more about this wolf. I have only read a little bit about her.
What do you know?
Something about being queen of spiders or something. She sounded very arrogant, very presumptuous, and what little I was able to piece together of ancient texts, she overstepped her bound, and a lot of people did not like that. And it kind of sounded like maybe some of the gods did not like it either.
That is the short of it. What do you want to know?
I am curious, what has happened with the other gods in that pantheon?
I don't know.
Do people still worship them?
I don't really know.
So, this Loth essentially not only got her own people killed, what drove such a wedge between the gods in their own pantheon that the entirety of the pantheon has collapsed, is or gone into hiding for some reason.
Maybe.
Feldrin, you're so generous.
You can tell this
Maybe,
is his
no.
favorite conversation.
I see. Well, I'll be sure to take a note of updates on that situation. And he
I
seems
don't
to be
think
scribbling more.
I don't think that Loth is actually around like my mother thinks. I can't confirm it myself. She never spoke to me, and apparently things can. But I don't know if she spoke to her or not. I don't think she did. I'd like to not think that, well, it would be easier to think that Mother was being commanded by someone else.
Is that something that you wish were the case? As So you're saying you would prefer your mother to be controlled by somebody than to have her act of her own volition? Is that to protect your own psyche? I could only
It would
imagine.
just be nice there if it wasn't the truth, but I do not believe that it is.
Ah. Well, based on what little you have told me of your society, perhaps that is nothing more than an excuse for those to seek power. To say the gods are the one that guide them, and as such, they are not actually guided by the gods.
Everything that Lolth had taught was to backstab and kill, to climb, achieve greatness and supremacy, to beat everyone else. And I believed it.
And now what do you believe?
I don't believe that's right. I don't believe that that's how it should be.
So, as one who partakes of seeing results, the follow-up question that I suppose I could ask you, now that you have what you believe, what do you plan on doing with that belief? Because it is one thing to believe, but it is another to enact.
I don't want anyone else to go through something like I did. I don't know how to make that stop.
Well, the grim response to that would be having all of a particular group of people get eliminated.
I don't believe
Technically.
that that's right. I want to make it better, not break it more.
So you do not have a plan as to how you might want to approach it, is what you're saying.
No, not really.
Well, that's a start, I suppose. At least you'll know where you need to start. Some people do not even get that far. Some get locked in the circular logic. Some get deadlocked into doing the same thing over and over until, like you said, something breaks. So, all I would say is when you do reach that point, consider not just your goals, but perhaps consider how others' goals might be altered by your decisions. Because what we think is good for us is not always good for the others. And then he does like a hand gesture, much like the age-old conversation. What is good, what is evil? To the villain, the hero is the evil. To the hero, the villain is the evil. To the creatures that inhabit a cave or a hovel, the monsters as we call them, we consider them evil. They might consider us evil for trespassing on their territory and burying them without much consideration.
I try not to kill. I But how do you get other people not to kill? How do you get a world not to kill and stab and try to climb on top of someone else? How do you get everyone to do it?
You know, the beauty of that question is you don't. It is the fact that some do that drives you. It is the fact that you endured such a situation that is your driving factor. If nobody did it, where would be the drive to become better? Many people curse the hills for their misdeeds and he does like the quotation mark, the evils that they do. Yet without them, we don't have a definition of what evil could be. Without,
But why do we have to know evil? Why is it important?
because then you would not know what good is without it.
I don't I don't want to believe that that's true.
He stops writing, scribbling in his journal, and folds his arms behind his head. I would also like to not believe that is true, and yet this is unfortunately the reality that we live in. Be it the machinations of higher beings, perhaps it's in some way, shape, or form, everything is already decided, preordained, and we have no control over it. Perhaps everything that we do is nothing more than a game being played upon us. That we are all just controlled by individuals sitting around some strange table pretending that they are us. The world works in a very mysterious way. Who knows? What I work with what I am given. The information that I am provided is what I use. Am I trying to correct the world? No. Am I going to correct the world? No. Am I going to do what I can to survive? Absolutely. Am I going to try not to just mindlessly murder like some tyrants? I do my best to avoid that. But I also have to admit that there is a saying. Sometimes you live long enough to become the villain in your own story. I am doing my best to make sure that never happens. But, and then he closes his journal and puts it away. That is neither here nor there as far as what needs to be done right now. And to my understanding, your compatriot should be waking up any minute now. After all, we may be underground, but I am a wizard of time. I know how much passes. and then he stands up and walks into the kitchen, and it's almost like perfect timing, like clockwork. Let's see, who would? Because I think Neovara wakes up first, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's almost like
Or is
clockwork
just
that as soon as he goes into the kitchen, Neovara starts to stir because Neovara is usually the first one up.
except for those of us that have pretty much been awake all night.
that are up all night.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. Oh, and he was on the couch next to her. Ew. Playfully, of
Hmm.
course. And she sort of stretches as she's like, "Oh my god, that wasn't a nightmare." Okay. And she'll wave to Veldrin when if she sees that he's actually sitting up. You're up early.
I don't know what to think of him.
I'm going to take that as some sort of win in my book.
I do not think he means us any harm.
I
I
didn't
don't
say
think
that,
he's dangerous.
but he's weird.
Well, I was listening to the whole conversation with my eyes closed there, and I think he's just a very intelligent fella, very pragmatic, and I don't think he's had anyone to talk to in a while, so he's just, you know, going on. And I think I like the fella. That's what I can say. I like the way his mind works.
You're a kind woman, sorry.
Well, you got to take it for what it is, don't you?
She'll rummage through her bag as she like finds her equipment. And then, heads off to the corner to be by herself for it. Very strange man. She'll light her lantern and then some incense in front of her and, focus.
We worshiping today.
In spite of everything, the Traveler. The number 1. The number 2, the Shadow. Number 3. Who would number 3 in this scenario be? Fury doesn't count because that
Devourer was the one that sent us here.
the Devourer is the one that sent us here. Ugh. She did also do a big old devotion to the Devourer a couple, like 2 days ago at this point. So yeah. Might as well, throw a little bit in there to be let out of the storm. Like you got what I think that we found what you sent us here for, so let us get out of the storm safely type thing. It's a strange
I like the
set.
way you synopsize your prayers.
Huh? Oh, I understand. Make them.
Well, you were kind of making a synopsis of what you're praying about, and I just thought it was cute.
Yeah. To the Shadow, it's just the normal homie. There are definitely some dark shit going on here. Some secrets that I want to know and I have the right to know, apparently. So let me in. Let me in. Guardian of, dark magic. Knower of all things. Come on, come on, come on.
And then there's this guy who's just giving you information freely.
Shh. He's like, I don't know about it though. He's giving me information, but he's not giving her the details that are good, you know. Thank you, Mr. Temporalis, sir, but like I've asked you questions and you've not been able to answer them either.
He just doesn't talk in the way you understand. I think he's trying to give you the information, but he just doesn't speak your language, so to speak, and you're not understanding his.
No. And obviously to the patron god, hey, homie, help me out here. I don't know what's going on. They're saying you're part of me and I'm part of you. You might not
Oh
exist
no!
anymore. Help, 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 help. Not really, but like let me understand this change in our relationship. Am I just praying to myself?
All right. So while you're doing that, what's everybody else doing? As you're setting up your altar and what have you.
Oh, sorry, he's gonna go to the kitchen and have a little bite or something.
So he's in the kitchen. So pretty much the door is just like north. Like this was just representative spacing, so it's
I
just like
know,
hallway.
I just like to play with it. I'm just playing with it because Neovar didn't, so I'm gonna go the hallway.
All right, so you go outside the house, walk around the perimeter, and then go through the back door to go to the bathroom that was one room away. Got it.
Wait, I thought that was isn't that the hallway?
Yeah, the door on the left side was pretty much just like the doorway in here, and the space in between these blocks is like the hallway. It's just I just didn't have a representative door
All
there
this stuff. Oh, I see. Okay.
because the hallway was narrow. All right, so you go in there, and Kozik is probably waking up at this point. Oh, I see you
Hey,
have
Kozik, tell me
partaken of
what's
the
good
force.
for eating, bruh.
Bruh.
Oh,
Nice.
there's some victuals in the cabinet there. You'll have to catch as catch can. I don't know what some of it is, but looks like there could be some bread or some things that have been put up in cans or something. But yeah, go for it.
Wait. Or who's got the coin?
Oh, here we
Could
go.
have a nice breakfast. Oh yeah, a breakfast of fruits and venison and bread. Oh, that sounds good. Who's got the coin?
I do not know
Oh,
what coin you
somebody.
speak
Oh, here
of,
you go.
but I do have all of those things available.
You've got fresh venison.
Well, the
Heckin' wizards.
translation, yes. Well, I mean,
Great. Sounds good.
am able to preserve lots of things with my magics. Everything is fresh.
Great. That sounds great.
And you help yourself. Like he just goes and pulls something out of like, imagine like an equivalent of like one of those like little like top open fridges, the ones you just sort of like plug in, you can move around.
Mm-hmm.
He basically has one of those, but it's you know it's a
It's
little
like a
it's a
bag
little
of holding.
yeah, but it's like a bag of holding you can see into, I guess, would be one way to put it.
Okay. But like you can pretty much just find anything you want in there.
Yeah, it's basically just a fridge, but instead of it being temperature controlled via it being cold, it is temporally controlled via time stopping.
Ah, got it. That's cool. That's cool. It's chill because it was chill.
And he just grabs like what looks like maybe some jerky and walks out. If you liked spiced jerky, maybe a
That
little
looks
gamey,
great.
you would probably enjoy this.
Sounds great. Thank you.
And he just points to some in the fridge and like grab, he comes back and grabs another like handful and just starts putting it in his mouth, starts chewing on it as he walks out.
I like this fella.
He pokes his
Very
head back in the kitchen.
pragmatic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then he walks. All right, so y'all's getting breakfast. What's Zed doing?
He's probably just slowly waking up.
All right. So I guess the question is there anything anybody wanted to do or like role play out before he comes out and does stuff?
Mm,
Does stuff.
not necessarily, but then there's probably going to be something where they'll be like, "Did you prepare that before you said?" But I can't think of anything special to do now.
Right. Okie dokie. So he eventually comes back out into the like, living room area and he seems to have like, it whereas before it was just like he had his like wizard robes and like clothing. Now he has what looks like more adventure-esque. He's got like a backpack and like bags of holdings like on his side and like it looks more like he is about to go on a trip than he does about to settle in his own home for the evening. So he'd have like this backpack with like what looked like not scrolls just like out exposed but like little round tubes where it looks like scrolls probably fit in. He has a bunch of those and he has like what looks like a bag of holding or two. He looks like he's ready to like up and like he's ready to go.
Well, you look rather prepared.
Well, yes, I am planning to leave this prison, so take as much as I can with me. I do not plan on coming back here. Well, technically, I did not plan on coming here in the first place, but a particular individual saw it to entrap me here.
Well, excuse me, Master Temporalis. Is there anything of value in that magical junk room? I mean, it's more than junk, obviously, but is there anything to be had, or is it all just temptation and illusion?
In the junk room, the one that I have the sign that says this cursed junk of mine.
That's the the very room.
Yes, those are all cursed items that I have properly ensured to separate them and put them in their own level. So, as long as nobody took
Okay,
anything, then you don't have to worry about it.
I'm pretty sure I shook out my pockets. Well, then we should leave that be.
And he kind of looks over to Veldrin, almost knowingly. But I am sure you haven't taken anything from there, because you are also trustworthy.
Yeah, and I look over at Niavara. Yeah.
Hello, what's
library?
that stray?
We're all honorable figures operating in this world, so yeah. I agree.
Yes. So, are we ready to, as they say, get the hills out of here?
Now, I do
I
have, I guess, like one final question. How were you able to get to the Hells, but not leave this place?
Oh, I did not go to the hill.
Then how did that little demon guy get here?
He was here already. Well,
Why was
technically,
he here?
more of a summoning. Why, I do not know. I stumbled across some ruins, and they had some interesting arcane, well, grafting or whatever, symbology on them. I studied them, and apparently I summoned him. And he was rather rude, so I turned him into a door.
Well, as you do.
Do you though?
Yes, because I did it.
That's right. This fella does anyway.
Kind of mean.
Yes. But that is alright. Mean or not, I am sure since you have released him, that he will be back to his usual whatever it is that he does. And that is of little concern to me at this point, because he is free to do whatever. If he comes after me, then it becomes a concern. But until that point, I am not concerning myself with it. I'd rather just get out of here.
All right, then let's boogie.
Yes.
Well, are we able to like decide where we're going, or are we just? Is it just the luck of the draw?
Well, I would say anything other than here would be good in
I
most
don't
cases,
be
but
now. Be careful. Yeah, right.
but you also, I guess, technically have not informed me of where you're trying to go.
Well, I think that's an important question we need to answer. What you say, gang? Where is it we're trying to go? I mean, we were on the way to this town with this library,
There was that
but the
discussion.
point of the town with the library was to get some maps and ultimately get to the astral plane. We were looking for ships to get us there, but ultimately that was our goal. So if there's some way that we could just go there, that would be ideal. But we were just
There's that.
on our journey trying to find how to get there.
There's that. But there's also that before, when I was a paladin, I had a book that was blank and it would fill in. And I had the understanding that no one other than me should have that book. And my mother has it.
And you're saying,
I'm saying it could be something awful. It had to do with Loth.
Are you saying you want to go get the book? Is that what you're saying?
Like actually
I'm just
travel in the real Underdark to go get mom?
Yes.
oh gosh. Oh,
I mean, it'd be funny to sick this guy on her. I wonder who'd win.
Probably me, considering what you have told me of her.
If only. Vel, what's your pick?
I want to go to the Underdark because if the risk is Loth returning, I do not want that to happen.
I'm playing the game nicely. Yeah, but I also don't want Lilith to return. I don't have a stick in the race per se. But I do know how mom raised people, and I also know sister's whole shebang because one of them's a priestess of Lilith. So I guess none of it's good for them. Or any,
Quick question.
but that is, derailing significantly.
Why is this the first time that you brought this up?
He
It
has
is-
brought it up
it is-
before.
It isn't the first time. I talked
Now
about
you brought
it
up your
before we dealt
mom
with.
and all that, but
No, I talked about the book before we met Marius.
We actually even talked about the book before he left the first time. Do you not remember in that horrible city where everyone had died?
I have a memory
yeah,
of
but
the
that was
book, but
before.
Way before all of this, yeah.
Yeah,
I have a memory of that, but we never talked about it like that was our
No, it wasn't.
mission. We talked about getting to the astral plane and getting to help this fella that's entrapped, and that bigger picture
But
might
this
help
is
take care of
also
the smaller stuff.
this is also kind of big picture because Loth wants to destroy everything that isn't the Underdark.
We will. I think it's going to be it'll have to be part of it.
I guess my point is we've been in the Underdark for days upon days now, and our whole goal has been trying to get out of the Underdark. But
This
if
isn't the real Underdark.
We
We
kept
only
getting
just
lost.
discovered
we
that, though.
just found that out though, like an hour ago, or just yesterday. So, like, why have we? If we've been in the Underdark already, and to your point, yeah, you mentioned the book, but it was before we met Marius, which was before we even got here. There's not really been much mention of it since we've been here. We've more or less, as far as I know, we've more or less been looking for a way out and not looking for mother.
I didn't believe that this was the
To it as
weird. It didn't feel right. I mean, what else to call it? Under the ground.
I don't
It's
know,
dark.
but
But there was nothing else around. There was something wrong with it.
We were totally going on the assumption it was the Underdark, and you were trying to figure out which. Anyway, I think
Yes,
the
I wanted
point
out
is that
because I wanted to
I
get
think
to
the
London.
point is it's thrown us off a little bit because that we haven't talked about any of that. I guess it's because we're like as a group, we try to tell everybody what we're thinking and making plans together, and so this is kind of throwing us off because
Different plan.
we haven't yet thought of that at all as part of our plan. Up like that's where we're going. So I think we're just a little thrown, and we just need to talk about it a little.
Well, it was a vote, and I said I would like to go, but you can vote how you want.
Well, right, but I mean, it's okay to make the case for what you want. I mean, that's all right. We just on the table. That's all. You've got every right to try and
Well,
uh,
I did say that
convince
mother
us what
shouldn't.
you want.
I
I'm
did
just
say
saying we're
mother
thrown
shouldn't
for a
have
minute.
this book before. I did say that she shouldn't
No,
have it.
it's all right. We're just saying we're a little thrown. It's fine. Just we need to catch up. because I don't mind admitting I was looking forward to getting out and
I
seeing
think
the
we're all
sun
looking forward to
again.
getting out.
And seeing the sun and the sky.
So, question about this scenario. Let's say we leave here, presumably the Underdark, which is not really the Underdark, and then but we go to the Underdark. Then, like, you'll know how to leave from there, because would we not just be in the same position that we're currently in, just in
We got out.
different?
We got out because of Neovara before she knows how to do it.
Oh, this is how do I say? A lot of pressure to put on one little cleric. But so okay. Point being, there are a couple different things. We should probably I hear your point, and it's a good point because but we also have been talking this whole time about doing this thing, which is, you know, stopping the planet destroying realm destroying issue, which is the Uggy issue. So I think we think about what to do with it in total. That's all.
They're both.
They're both
We're
important.
operating on time with both of them.
Yes.
I have to say, I'm not really of a mind to go to the Underdark. I mean, I understand that if this book is in the hands of your mother, that there, or whoever it is, that there might be some way they'd use this book to bring Loth back. And well, these are all like, if this, then that might happen. And um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the whole group is gonna go, then I'm gonna go, but that wouldn't be my vote. I'm sorry, Vildred. I'm just, you know.
We keep an eye out on it. How about that, Belle?
That's fine.
I have a feeling if she's going to start making moves, she will start making moves in a way that affects us. You know.
Like you'll know.
I have a feeling we would.
My concern really is that if she comes back, depending on the amount of power she can amass, because my understanding is there are still many followers among the Drow, that it could kill a lot of the people that we could use as help in the other problem. That is
Yeah.
all.
Well, I think this place that the fellow we're headed to help out and all that is a bit. It's just a bit bigger situation. It's not, you know, down to a particular region. And there's like, I mean, you could pick any realm and any place, you know, that's got something like that going on. But I like the idea of being able to help make a change on a bigger level that could impact more people, more worlds, save more. Um, yeah. I'm sorry if that comes out a bit harsh, but I guess that's just I'm being honest with my feelings.
So, does that be where you want to go?
Well, I want to hear from the boys. I want to hear from Kozik and Zed. All it means is I've said my opinion. It doesn't mean anything else.
Well, in order to reach our destination, we were meant to quit more quickly. We were meant to find ourselves in the Underdark anyway. This just doesn't happen to be the genuine article, does it?
What do you mean in order? What do you mean?
We had theorized going
Was-
underneath.
The Underdark would allow us quicker passage than the overworld.
Oh, to get to that library, right? But if we
Yes.
can teleport anywhere, we could teleport right to the astral plane. We wouldn't have to go underground to get to the library to learn about the ships, to find a shipyard, to get a,
Once
we wouldn't
once
have
we're
to
on
go
the
through all
astral
those
plane,
steps.
we have to travel somewhere. We have to travel. We can't just walk about not knowing where we are. We need a ship. We need a guide,
Right? But we can find that
which
when
is
we
why
get
we
there,
were meant
don't you
to
think?
go to the city.
Well, I thought we were just looking up, trying to find the information about shipyards.
Yeah, but Neovora's got a contact there that we met in Grenstal. That's apparently a captain of airship.
Mhm.
Might be able to.
Famous captain, yes.
Well, maybe we could try and teleport just right to that place, right to that town.
Yeah, he is so
Oh, I
far
would need to be in the right, persona.
buried in old notes. Dig
And
that
she
up.
My
shifts
mind is
her
brought back
face.
to the mysterious name of Erg Gergen, who I do not know who this person is, but the name is etched in my brain.
That sounds like a burp.
He may be a burp in
Erg.
sentient form. We don't know yet.
That's gonna be their files of notes.
Well, like I
Erg.
said, if you want to do the other thing on the way, I just have a feeling it's not going to be a quick
I had
stop,
ex-
but I'm
I
open.
had expected that is what we were doing on the way because we were looking for a way into the Underdark initially.
Actually,
So
we're
we-
you're traveling to the place of brass, and I had joked about going to the Underdark as the path underneath.
And I thought that was the agreed upon path.
Right, but like,
I
so
think you
there's a
take
whole lot
things
of
more
things.
seriously.
Well, that
Please
my
go.
point is that as far as like not knowing how, if you were thinking that we were going to handle this on the way, it would be good to mention it.
Well, I did.
Right?
We had
Once.
we had talked
I
about
don't-
going into the Underdark when Neovara found the poop monster, and I had mentioned it then when it was being discussed.
Right, but I don't think we had a group conversation and made an actual decision together.
Yeah, so granted, I'm not saying that you didn't say anything, but based on our reaction to feeling like we had no fucking idea what you're talking about, let's go off of that, because I was not planning on going to fight your mother or prevent Loth from returning. I didn't know that was on the agenda. That's my fault if that was mentioned, but yeah, I guess at this point, what a pit stop that would be.
Right? Quite a pit stop.
And are we sure? Again, like, I'm not familiar with the Underdark, just making that obvious. But is that on the way? Like, I don't conveniently or like your mom's house is just on the way to getting to be underneath Chronosis. I don't know how these necessarily weave together.
Right? Because Neovara's not even sure she can get us out of the Underdark once we're in there.
I guess, is there a way? There's not like flying ships in the Underdark, is there?
Not in
They
that
wouldn't-
situation. I don't think.
wouldn't be able to procure. Okay.
The Underdark can be kind of like the garbage of the world. Things appear there. So there may be one, but you can't guarantee it.
Right. Okay. Um.
That's one way to describe
Kozik,
home.
mate, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to the Underdark, I mean, whatever, we should go, or we should go back to the material plane.
I mean,
Take
we're
us to the
definitely going back to
city.
the material plane. The question is where we're going to be dropped off. I also sort of thought that we were going to like be trying to head to the library because this like handily gets around the situation entirely. Like we don't have to, try to figure out our way around it. We don't have to try and get around that wall, blah 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 blah.
Right,
We can
you've
just
Right.
got
go
a
straight
direct
to it.
path. Right.
That's why I'm saying like if we're meant to go fight our mother, it will happen in due time. We can't force that sort of change.
Well, is this
But if
something
it's
that?
destined,
Yeah.
then
Like,
it might
or
be.
I guess Vel, or you're suggesting that you just want to acquire the book. Is that right? Or was
Yes, we don't even have to fight. We could just steal.
Oh, it's never that simple.
and right? But that's, I guess, where I'm leading to is so you know that it's in her possession,
Yes, she took it.
and do you know where she is? Or was like as far as, or is it going to be tracking her down, or
She would be
is
at
it going to be
home.
one of those things like she's going to come find us type thing? Because it's like, yeah, I guess similar thinking.
Well,
We could go
if
look for Marn, but Marn's already looking for us. So I don't know if it's similar sort of situation where inevitably we are going to cross paths anyway. I'm asking because I don't know.
she wouldn't be looking personally.
I see. Okay. So she'd have like agents or whatnot, probably,
Yes.
but. Oh.
I don't
Well, I
like
say
the
if we
feel of it.
can go to the city, then we should go. We should take that opportunity, and we've done our time here in purgatory.
It's not purgatory. It's not very nice.
Wow, here we are. This
Says
is the sort of
Miyabara.
Well, I guess knowing that we're probably inevitably going to have to go to the Underdark at some point, that big library in Chronosis has got information on all sorts of stuff. We might be able to find more information about that whole situation as well. Like,
Right, like
I don't know if
pathways
they're
in
going
and
to have
out
like,
and whatnot.
I don't know if they're going to have like maps of the Underdark or whatnot, but just we
Right.
just add that to the list of things that we need to find more information about, because
or perhaps a
speaking for
seer,
myself,
some
I
sort
don't
of
know.
some sort of character that's versed in scrying can tell us more about the location of what you seek.
Oh, that's a great idea to know exactly where it is.
It seems to me that this Chronosis maybe has a lot of resources there.
Yeah, and going there first doesn't preclude going to the Underdark at some point.
No, I didn't
It's a
think we
place
wouldn't
for
ever
information.
go. I didn't think we wouldn't ever go. I don't believe that this group would leave something like that be. It's just a matter of when, now.
Well, I'm voting for the Chronosis. I think there's information to be had. Well, that will give us more of an advantage about our next steps.
Timber Alice, mate, where are you going?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, considering I will be dropping you off, I guess I will be going to this Chronosis place as well. See just how extensive the library is. You mention a
That
library,
does
and I
sound like
am
your
curious.
kind of place. All right, sounds like your kind of place.
I don't mean to make light of the situation, but Vel, honestly, mate, it's a win-win for you. Either we go to your mom, you get a book there, or we go to a big fucking library and you get a lot of books there.
They're very different books.
But I hear the point.
It's like
Eldrin was, to be clear, trying to be lighthearted about that.
it's like the
Well, it-
age-old logic. Do you want the most recent gaming console and get one game, or do you get yourself a Sega Genesis and get like 50 games? Like which you know? You want GTA
These are
6 and a new
cool
console,
options.
or you want F-Zero from the olden days? Like take Star Fox 64. What do you want? Old gamers.
sounds like Chronosis.
If we can go to that destination, then I think that we should go there.
We've been working so hard for so long to get there.
Got so fun. All right.
I'm sure the answers will, appear to us, Val.
All right. So this Chronosis place. It seems to
It's on
be
the material plane.
correct. All right then. Well, if you give me about, it would probably take at most an hour to locate this place and to have the preparations ready.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, mate.
Would be room.
I'm not going to miss this place.
Okay. All right. Well, when you're ready, in about an hour, meet me in the room with that we had dealt with the servants of Marn, and we will go from there. I have to do some preparations and ensuring that our transportation is safe and not tracked by a particular individual that we do not like.
That's great. I'm so grateful to you that you've got those skills where you can make that happen.
Well, part of that is also going to be making sure I properly dispose of and destroy my research to ensure that information does not fall into any other hands. But I will leave you to it. You'll know where to meet me. Yes?
Even when you cover your tracks to do this transportation, how long is it going to take until Marn finds us again? Because obviously he found you again.
That's true no matter where we go or what we do, right?
Yeah, how much time do we have?
Well, for me, all the time in the world. And he smirks a
Congrats.
little bit.
Oh, you were so waiting to say that.
Naturally. And he walks out. Leaving you
Didn't
free
answer
to
his
interact.
question.
Well, how can he answer that question? How can he answer you? I mean, if we do one thing, maybe it takes longer for Martin to find us. If we do another, maybe we bring it about sooner. I mean, how can we know?
Well, you got a point, but he would be the right person to ask, given that he's a Time Lord and all.
and dealt with him. If anyone would know, it'd be him.
I've met Time Lords. He's not a Time Lord, but he's a good fella.
I'm so curious about what all of that means. I just know that he's kind of, a little braggy.
That I am. You hear
Yes,
an
I know
echo from
that's
down the
stupid.
hallway.
Little stupid of me to say that, considering, but
You don't like it on
Oh.
someone else, I take it.
no. Not
I
as
think
fun
it
when
goes
it's
with the territory.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, unless you guys wanted to do anything in that hour, we could fast
Skip
forward.
ahead. All
to
right.
the big room.
So we're getting to
Chat.
that room.
We move everybody on
What room
over.
was that? Was it this room over here? No, oh, way over here. Okay. Thanks, boss.
All right. Select that. Move him here in the center. I sort of moved everybody generically into the room. So you make your way to the room in which you had been, that you dealt with minions of Marn. And it looks like he's done a pretty good job of clearing the debris. Like all the broken chairs and tables have been removed, like just completely removed, not just like swept into a pile, but they're just gone. You would see lots of like piles of ash laying around. Maybe a couple scorch marks on the floor, etc., etc. But the most interesting thing is where those 3 shimmering orbs used to be. They're gone now, but there's nothing there. And in the center of the room, they're like basically where you guys had like scoot the table. Looks like the table got moved, and the chairs have been moved away. And there's just this very large rune carved into the floor. And when you look up, you would see that it's also like a carving in the ceiling, and they're just like perfectly aligned, like where the one on the floor is, the one on the ceiling is also. And he notices you guys walk in. Just in time. I had just managed to complete the final touches of the teleportation rune.
That's quite something.
Albeit with a few modifications to ensure our travel is not tracked. And also a way to make sure we are going where we plan to go. And you see, like, next to the rune is just like this floating, like, glass sphere. So, on my end, I have all of these preparations prepared. Now, that would leave us to the powering of the rune and the, how you say, tuning of the fork. And he gestures to Zed and Little One. A zipper.
He would, I guess, just like step forward, not really knowing what to do.
All right. So, first thing that I wanted to do was to, I think this should be this place you mentioned, based on utilizing the arcane, scrying, and I guess one way to put it, planar locationing. I think this should be the place. And then he walks over to like the floating orb. My mouse double clicked. And he taps it twice. And there's like this, it's almost like a projection appears in front of you, like the size of like, you know, an auditorium or like a movie theater size, just huge top, not necessarily like top down, like perfectly top down, but like at an angle. And it shows this huge city. And let me double check one thing.
Penosis is a huge city.
Oh yeah.
That's so weird that there wasn't a nice, well-traveled road there.
I think we were like too far away.
Refer to something here.
Okay.
Like we were outside of the sphere of influence of Chronosis.
I mean, when we saw the map, though, in what's the name of that town?
There's warring cities is the problem.
Gemstol?
Grenstal.
They were at war with each other.
Brenstal.
No, the city
Right,
in
but we
between
looked at a
Grenstal
map.
and
Oh.
Knossos was at
Yeah.
war.
Okay, Chronosis
Right,
was the
right. But
mountain
I
one.
just remember
Yeah.
there not being a, you know, a
2, 3.
specifically well-traveled path. Like at one point, we even had to like, you know, we were just kind of bushwhacking it.
Yep, they were going to Chronos. Yep. So yeah, so the projection shows this what looks like a massive, like metropolis-sized city, and because it's Chronosis. So it's a top-down. Like imagine looking at, you know, Los Angeles or like New York or like one of those big cities. Like it is, there's a lot of buildings and what seems like a lot of people. But the thing that sets Chronosis apart from probably any other place that any of you have seen, just thinking who's been where, yeah, probably different than anybody's seen, maybe except for Kozik. There is a above ground aspect to it, but you realize that this is in the mountains. Chronosis is in the mountains. So
Oh.
you see like this mountain range, this huge mountain range, and you would see like what looks like, you know, a parting between like a couple of the mountains where it looks like there could be means for people to traverse, you know, up and through the mountainous terrain. But you would also see that in the image that it looks like it's not only on top of the mountain, but part of it seems like it's embedded in the mountain. So you actually see, it looks like there might be a metropolis above ground, but there also might be one also in the mountain as well.
Cool.
So I guess
Very
in
cool.
a somewhat like, if you were to look at it from a post-apocalyptic thing, imagine like a cityscape airship that crashed into a mountain, but this is intentionally built. But just that idea that there's probably that there's a bunch above, but there's probably, it insinuates that there's plenty below. It's below / embedded in the mountain, not underdark below, but like in a mountain kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Built into the mountain. And I would probably say the only person that might have like some familiarity with something like this would be Kozik, as you know,
Right.
a dwarf. But you guys also didn't necessarily have much of an above ground section. Like usually when you guys had trade routes with any above grounders, like they would usually come to you or you would send some envoys out, but it wasn't like integrated into the same city. So that would probably be the different part for Kozik. But the buildings themselves have a So they don't look like your normal, typical, like, you know, here's a stone building. It's big and it's rectangular and it's just there. And maybe there's a point on the top of it or something for a little gothic flair. These buildings are, they have a much more organic look to them. They seem like they have, rereading Chronosis. Yeah, these seem like they're more like spires in a sense, but you can ascertain people live in them and stuff. But amongst these spires, they have a very serpentine aesthetic to them. Like it kind of looks like in some of the larger towers, it's like snakes coiled up these towers. But it's all structure. But it's just they give this sort of like spiraling upwards feel, and very scaly like in how they cut their how they choose to convey this. But nobody's ever really been to Chronosis, so I mean, you can't point in and be like, oh yeah, that place, I know that place. Of course, yeah, now I remember.
Wait, so you're saying that there's not a really big sign out front that just says "Welcome to Chronosis"?
Not from the angle of the camera, because the projection's trying to catch like the full view of the city.
You could still get your wish fulfilled.
Correct. So, this definitely looks like the kind of a city that would have a high population. And then he kind of puts a finger on his chin and leans into the projection and looks around. It would look, yes, if there's a city this big, still functional, then there is definitely got to be quite an extensive library. Yes.
That was what we were told by the Lady Tia Moonblade.
Excellent. Oh, next question. You said you got here with the assistance of a deity. Is that deity with you, affecting you currently?
I mean, I prayed to him. Why?
Did you pray to him today?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens, I suppose. Anyway, Mr. Zedrian, if you do not mind standing in middle of room here, I will stand with you.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, I don't have it selected. That's why. Alright, so all you would need to do is close your eyes and think about, well, I guess, to clear your mind as best as you possibly can.
And click your heels 3 times. No.
And remember to
Okay.
breathe. What does that do it?
Yeah. He's
Alright. Now, what I need you to do is hold out your hand. And I'm guessing Zed does so.
yeah.
And you say, and they say you are not particularly magically inclined, yes?
Oh, well, I think Neovara says that just to be snarky.
Hey, how's it going, PTSD?
It's actually like the buddings of a wizard within him. I'm sure of it.
Well, I apparently I know how to do magic. I don't know why, but
Well, we can explore that question after we get the fuck out of here, I believe is the youngest say.
yeah.
and you would see what appears to be a tiny little lizard. Like he extends his hand and a little lizard like jumps from his hand onto yours and just sort of curls up and like sits there. So I need you to focus on the feeling on your hand. And as you do so, think about where you want to go. Envision the city that has been projected in front of you. And then, Zed, you can give me an Arcana check with advantage.
All right. There it is. Nice. Dude, I've rolled so many 19s recently.
Nice.
Yep. So, as you do so, you follow his words, and being magically inclined, it's a little bit easier because you have some understanding of how to manipulate the weave and how to bend. Basically, magic in a way is bending reality. So you have an understanding of how that works, and as you focus in on like the creature like sitting in your hand, and you think about the image of this city that was projected in front of you, and the name, and I mean what little you've read about it, because there were like flyers and stuff that you've read in previous sessions. All of this information comes to mind, and the image in your mind, and you feel a little bit of warmth, but it's not on your hand. It's from like your chest. Like your chest starts getting warmer, almost like you're sitting in front of like a space heater, just like right in front of it. And what does that do with that sensation?
Well, you could probably. So he's got his eyes closed, his hands out, extended, and he's trying to calm himself. And like you said, I'm just kind of picturing these images popping, like kind of flashing into his head of what the city scene that we just saw from this orb, as well as just kind of information, like you said, that he knows, having not been there, and he's kind of slow, deep breaths. But you'll notice whoever's standing around that kind of as moments go by and as he's feeling the sensation, he might have like a slight sort of twinge in his facial expression, and his breathing gets not necessarily more labored, but the pace quickens a little bit. He's still you can tell that he's still trying to keep his focus, and like remain calm, even though this sensation is probably somewhat distracting.
Tell me, how are you feeling? Are you able to
Feel
continue?
hot inside.
Is it unbearable?
We kind of pause for a moment. No, we got to get there.
Understood. Then we will continue. And what for you feels like, what's realistically, maybe a minute or two, but for you it just feels like an eternity. Like just imagine that you're being forced to endure like a pain, but it's like you can't, like your foot is sore, but you have to remain standing because you're in the middle of the street, kind of thing. Like you can't really stop. So it's more of a power through it situation.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Hmm.
Oh, I wish I were standing. Sheesh kebab.
All right, that is a 6. All right. That would not be enough. As the pain grows so unbearable, it goes from it's like somebody is jabbing like something like a hot poker into you, but it's already like there, so it's not like you felt an entry wound. It's just it just starts to burn really bad.
You probably notice that he's starting to waver a little bit. He's still eyes are closed and he's still kind of focused, but his brows furled up, and he's got his hand out, and this lizard's kind of sitting curled up on his hand. But you can almost start to see that it looks like this lizard is like weighs too much for him to carry anymore. His hand is just almost like he's struggling to keep it held up, and you could just kind of sense or see that he's just starting to waver. Still eyes closed, still trying to focus though.
All right. So that brings us to so the pain starts becoming more and more unbearable, and he can like visibly see you start to lose your composition. I know this must hurt a lot, but it is our only way to get out of here. You must maintain your constitution. You must keep focused. Stay with me.
See him with that. He opens his eyes, and he's just got like still furrows, probably like you see like sweat beating up, brows furled, still kind of wavering, but he has a very sort of confident resolve in his eyes as he opens his eyes and looks at Temporalis. And normally he's got, you know, kind of like brighter blue eyes, but when he casts spells, they tend to kind of glow in this sort of arcane aura. And as soon as he opens his eyes, you can see that glow. Like he's really focusing all of his energy, his arcane might into trying to get us out of here.
So, the next question for Zed. Would you like to either
I know what you're going to ask
roll
me.
the next dice or guarantee a success with a setback?
In this situation, I'm going to guarantee the success with a setback.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you manage to power through it. You manage to endure the pain. You manage to keep your focus. You manage to maintain your arcane, connection, as it were. And at that point, Temporalis turns to Little One, just sort of sitting on the floor outside the circle. Okay. Little One. I will need you to come here. And he holds like a hand up for Little One and like points to his shoulder. Okay.
He's got such a great attitude, Little One.
And he lands on Temporalis's shoulder. And you can visibly see like Little One just kind of like tremble a little bit. It's like, oh, tingly. Oh, it's tingly. That feels weird. So when he does that, you would start to see a sphere open on the other side of like the port, like I guess as far as the map orientation, the right side of the portal. So kind of in the general direction where the other ones were. and you'll start to see an image form of mirroring the image of what is in the projection, and it's seeming to be forming as some kind of a portal. Luckily, the little one does not have to do much. He just has to be here. Like I said, he is a bit of a tuning fork. And I have been able to locate the appropriate frequency, and here we are. And at that point, Zed, you feel the little lizard jump off from your hand. You feel the intense pain fades away. And you guys see a active portal in the, with the same like image in it as the one in the projection. The way is open. And Temporalis just kind of sighs and has a moment of relief. At last, to get out of this Marn infested prison. Any motions to the party? Well, I believe the saying is, this is our stop. Thank you, Mr. Zerian. This has also been very enlightening to learn. Yeah, I'll even draw a little portal for
Well,
him.
this is the
Oh,
familiar
yeah, it's been
feeling. I
great.
guess we ought to step through, shall we?
Here, there you go. That's a little model there.
Yeah, Zed go first.
There.
Go ahead, Zed.
And
Well,
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, let's go.
You go first, Zed. You guys made it happen.
Probably take like a like a very intentional sort of deep breath, and then he'll step through.
All right. And as you step through, like as you're moving towards it, little one lands on your shoulder, and the second you step through, you hear a little sneeze.
I guess as we're going through, as he's stepping through, he'll also he'll reach in and grab a coin and hold it up to little one and just kind of like assure him that we're gonna be all right as we're going through. It's gonna be all right, little buddy. We're gonna be fine here. Just snack on this.
Okay. And he takes it. And I will just say Opal goes through. Just do that. And as people are going through, Temporalis is turning around and looking at basically like doing like a last look. He's just like looking at the door and putting his hands on his hips and taking a deep breath, looking around, like looking at the ceiling, looking at his hands, looking at the floor.
Nice to be out.
I would not lie if I were to say I might kind of miss this place.
The sun is nice. I'm surprised it doesn't bother you though.
It never
Most
has.
drow can't stand in the sunlight.
He hasn't walked through yet.
He hasn't. He's like doing, he's kind of doing that like that long stare at the surroundings and just taking it all in. And like I said, I would not be lying if I would say I would not miss this place, but the only way to learn and to gain new knowledge and experience is to let the past be the past. But damn, am I going to miss this old place. And he kneels down and does like this kind of like heartfelt, just rubbing his hand on the rune along the floor, and picks up some dust and just kind of lets it fall between like his hands and to the floor. The new experiences. And he stands up. Did Veldrin go through yet, or is Veldrin still?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Zari's just hanging back to make sure everybody gets through doing her protector thing.
Yep. And everybody goes through, and then he, like I said, he stands up and time to find a new home, I suppose.
How long did you live there for?
Too long. And Veldrin steps through, and then as Sari's about to step through, he'll stop Sari. You seem to have a good heart. Keep them in check, will you?
I'll do my best.
He nods. That is all anybody can ask. And then he leans in, especially with that Nirvana woman.
Oh, she's a good egg. She's a bit gruff on the edges, but she's a good one.
Well, I suppose I am not a part of your party, so I am not to be trusted. And that is alright. It's understandable. But like I said,
I don't take it personally. Don't take it personally at all. That's her nature.
nature, well, nature is all about change, so I suppose that makes sense. Well,
You talk as if you're not going through with us.
no, I am. I am just, like I said, this place has been home for so long. It is humbling and also mildly terrifying to step out of that zone.
Right. But it's been your prison too. And as you say, change is the nature of things.
Yes, without it, we get nowhere. Speaking of which, I will be the last one through, as I will close this behind us.
All right, then. Thank you.
So, you all step through. And once you do, and this is sort of like, now that everybody's on, has stepped through, now, you all see this sort of simultaneously. As you step through, you realize, you take your step, and, much like portals, when you take your step, it's like, it's like just a continual movement. But you realize as you all step through that there is no ground underneath you, and you start to fall.
Man. Remember? And she's like, sort of like,
Man.
hand on her cheek. She's like, remember how we fell from the ceiling in the Underdark? I think the Devourer has a sense of humor.
And that is where we will end the session as you are tumbling to the ground.
Far up, or is that for next time too?
That is for next time.
That's awesome.
Huh.
We're all about to die.
No, we can become a fart cloud. Remember?
With
We
one,
could
as
become
long as you're
fart cloud.
falling for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It takes 1 minute to switch. Yeah.
Oh, right.
um, is that so? This is an OOC question. Was that the setback, or do I still have to worry about a setback going forward?
I can neither confirm nor deny, because to tell you that would ruin the surprise
Okay.
if it's the setback or not.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That was fun though.
And
That's cool.
I'm gonna do a quick wrap up the stream, but if folks want to stick around for a minute or two, because scheduling for next week is something I gotta figure out and when people are
Oh,
available.
Yeah.
So give me like
Yeah. Give me a sec.
3 or 5 minutes.
I need the same, but yeah, I'll be back.
All right, y'all. With that being said, next week we'll probably be starting a little bit earlier. We're going to discuss that schedule like right now while we have everybody here. Just because I got some uncertainty with my schedule next Tuesday. So yes, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys watching and then hopefully enjoying as much as we do. Let's see here. So for those of you on the Yubles Tubles, we do this every Tuesday at about 7:40. I'm really trying to reel that in, but 7:40-ish Pacific. Every Tuesday. Over on Twitch, Twitch TV/Cube222. And apparently in the descriptions of the uploads, it puts that in there now. So I guess I can leave the link in there. But yeah, and tomorrow will be the other D&D game. That's usually at 5:30 Pacific. We're pretty decent at being on time for that one. Also on Twitch. And I appreciate all of y'all's being here and watching and hanging out. And if you're watching it on the Yubles Tubles or on a VOD, then you know, I guess my statement remains the same, which is I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you. And hopefully we'll catch you guys again next week, probably a little bit earlier, just due to some scheduling situations, and real life stuff that I have no control over. So yeah, I think that's the gist of it. Yep. So yeah, stay good to yourselves, stay good to others, keep an open mind, and remember, I don't know, I had something cool and I lost it. Macaroni and cheese is delicious. All right, cool. Until next time, y'all. Have a good one. Catch you again.